Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinnell's Restaurant, classic Italian American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinnell's Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinnell's has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcome. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
The Saratoga City Council meeting, an inside look at the decisions that affect you and our community.
Good evening. Welcome to our second City Council meeting for the month of December, our last official City Council meeting for this council. Today is December 21. I agree. Let's clap for that. I agree. Today is December 21, 2021. It is now 6:50. We have 4 public hearings on the docket this evening, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Frank.
Thank you, Mayor. For the first one, I'm going to bring up Tony Izzo. There is a typo on it, but it's local law number 3 of 2021 for Interlaken, but it's not a PUD. So, Tony, and this will be up for vote tonight.
Thank you very much. The typo is not in the local law itself. It is in the agenda item. It is not a planned unit development. That's the typo. It is a special assessment district, SAD, and it's an amendment to an existing special assessment district that's been on the books since 2002. The original one was just done for emergency purposes, so there'd be a framework in place so that if the city ever had to take emergency measures, there's already a framework in place to help the property owners. It's been like that for almost 20 years. The proponents of this district, the homeowners and the directors of the Interlaken area, have asked that it be converted, transformed, if you will, into a more conventional special assessment district, SAD. And they provide a budget. The City Council then levies and collects assessments based upon the budget provided by the Board of Directors every year. We have a number of other special assessment districts that operate exactly that way. That's what they're looking for, a transfer from emergency only to conventional special assessment district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody would like to speak on this local law number 3 of 2021, Interlaken SAD, please step forward to the microphone. Okay, are we closing this tonight?
Yes, this is up for vote, Mayor.
Okay, so we are closing this evening, and we'll take a vote later on. And then we'll move on to our second public hearing, Commissioner.
Yes, that's the Maple Dell Marion Avenue PUD zoning amendment. I'll briefly, this is going to need 4 votes because it would need a supermajority to pass. This is on the seeker is first, and then the vote on this is after. But I'll bring up Vince Steele, an artist, just to give a background on this, Vince.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is the Maple Ave, Marion Ave PUD. As the Commissioner mentioned, we did receive a protest petition. That is something that would trigger a supermajority requirement, and we have determined that the signatories to the petition did meet the requirements. So there are 2 items on the agenda after you close the public hearing this evening. The first is the seeker environmental review. That actually does not require the supermajority. That's just a normal majority or 3 votes at the council. But after we do the environmental review and you ultimately get to the PUD discussion and vote on that one, that will require a supermajority or 4/5 vote.
Okay, thank you. Anybody that'd like to speak on the Maple Dell Marion Ave PUD zoning amendment, please step forward to the microphone, state your name and address. Anybody here for that?
So good evening and congratulations on it's a great term you've had. John Jacopone, Saratoga Springs. I'm with the Maple Ave, Marion Ave, Maple Dell Neighborhood Association. I'll be very brief tonight. Really, thank you for your time and you've given to this matter. We appreciate how you've actively listened to input from the residents of this neighborhood. You heard all the arguments. The planning board voted 6-0 against this. Converting residential lots to commercial is inconsistent with the comprehensive plan. The community, the neighborhood, has expressed intense objection to this PUD. You heard from many of the residents of this neighborhood. Those that were able to get in a month ago spoke. Many were not able to get in. They were stuck outside. Heard about the formal protest. This neighborhood is a residential neighborhood. It's not just one street. The applicant would have you believe the residential neighborhood is just one street. Maple Dell, Marion Ave is a residential street. The northern gateway to our city is a residential neighborhood. It is in its current zoning, it is in the UDO, and it is in the comprehensive plan. We are against converting residential neighborhoods, residential lots to commercial. We don't want a 5,000 square foot liquor store on a residential lot in a residential neighborhood. That's about the size of Purdy's. Big box. We don't want a car wash on a residential lot in the Greenbelt near all of our city water supply. Stewards has told you that when this is rejected, they will proceed with a plan to move the store anyway, pursuant to the zoning ordinance. They don't need a PUD to move the store. We look forward to seeing that plan and working through the planning board process. We look forward to hearing from you and your no vote tonight on this PUD. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak on the Maple Dell? Okay, and we'll be closing this also.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, on to our next one, the Smiley Bracket Cottage, city landmark.
Yes, Mayor. This would be this relates to making this Smiley Bracket Cottage as a city landmark over on Excelsior. This would be a Type 2 action, and the action of designation of a local landmark or inclusion within a historical district has been determined to be precluded from environmental review also. So that's basically all I have till the vote later.
Okay, if anybody wishes to speak on the Smiley Bracket Cottage city landmark, please come to the mic, state your name and address. Anybody here to comment, please step forward.
Samantha Bosshart with the Saratoga Springs Preservation Foundation. Congratulate all of you for making it to your last city council meeting, and thank you for considering this and accepting this application for review. This was not an easy decision to bring it forward. However, I think the history of this building speaks for itself. I won't review all of the history, but I will say that it's this Gothic Revival architecture that still retains its rural setting is truly unique. Not only does it retain its rural setting, it has associations with Sarah Smiley, who was a pioneer, as well as Charles Brackett. For those reasons, the state has deemed this or determined that this property is worthy of individual listing on the National Register. That doesn't happen. That is not something that easily is done. We are fortunate we have lots of districts that when buildings are combined lead to a district, but overall, an individual listed property is very rare. Think about the Canfield Casino. That is an example of a building that would have been early in the preservation movement was determined something that could be individually listed because of its significance. This building meets that same criteria. This isn't, and more importantly, because Sarah Smiley was a pioneer, we're having an opportunity to recognize women's history. That's something that's happening in the national preservation movement. finding these sites to recognize the stories of other people, not just the white male. We're talking about recognizing the history of women or other cultures. That's the movement in the preservation world. And this is an opportunity to recognize that history. In addition, I just want to say that I believe that the current owner wants to see this building preserved. He's owned it for 50 years. He's made efforts to retain the decorative verge boards, to retain the slate roofs. This isn't about the current owner. This is about preserving this building and ensuring some measure of protection going forward after him. There is no review of demolition. There is no review of new construction. So once this property is sold, or whoever takes after it, that's where the concern is. And this is why we think it's important that it be designated a local landmark. We've been willing to work with the owner. We've offered assistance. Those offers have been rejected thus far. By making it a local landmark, and in fact, if he were to consider a local listing it on the National Register, he in fact would open himself up to opportunities for financial assistance to get the building the funds it needs to help preserve it. So I'm asking you to think beyond today. Think about preserving our buildings for the next generation, because that's what made Saratoga so special. So on that, I guess I will end my comment.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else want to speak on the Smiley Bracket Cottage as a city landmark?
I'm a little hard of hearing, so.
You could just pull that down, the mic. It tilts down. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm a little hard of hearing, so I may have a hard time understanding when you talk. My name is Daniel Jewett. I'm the owner of 166 Excelsior Avenue. I've owned the property since 1968. Before that, I was the caretaker for Charlie Brackett. I took care of the property. Charlie sold it to me in 1968. He wanted me to have the property. It's about a little over 5 acres, and that's what I'm really concerned about here, is that giant land grab, and I haven't been given an opportunity. I was blindsided by the last city council meeting that I wasn't even advised of what was going to take place. I was blindsided by that. I didn't have an opportunity to seek counsel to represent my interest. So I'm asking you to consider that, because I need to seek counsel to protect myself, to protect my heirs. I've worked for this city for over 30 years. I love this city. I love my property. I want to get back in my house. I worked out there recently, and I got very seriously injured. Car. I was working out there, just a freak accident. I went over an embankment. Luckily, I hit a tree. Otherwise, I may have been in the pond down in back. But anyway, it's very important to me. Give me a fair hearing. Let me seek counsel. There's been some misrepresentations that have been made before the planning board. I didn't have an opportunity to address the planning board. I didn't have an opportunity to speak to anybody at the zoning board. But there's been some misrepresentations made that the Historic Foundation, that they have been trying to work with me for 20 years. I have not talked to anybody from the Historic Foundation other than once with Samantha Bossart. And that was a meeting I had between her and myself and Tony Izzo. At that meeting, what the meeting was about was possibly they would be able to offer me some financial assistance on preservation. Samantha told me that they had limited funds to work with. What they were interested in was if I would possibly sign some sort of an agreement. They were looking for a quid pro quo. I didn't want to get involved in that without speaking to somebody to advise me. So I walked away from it because she had nothing to offer me. They were looking for something. I'm asking you, give me a fair hearing. Let me have counsel represent me. I have the petition that presented at the council meeting that's signed by Adam Favreau. States on the petition, it says, I, the undersigned owner or purchaser, under contract for the property. How can that be? I'm the owner. So this is false. Give me the opportunity to have counsel. There shouldn't be a rush here. I've owned this property for over 50 years. I just need your consideration. Why is there a rush when I can have time to have counsel represent me to protect myself? The other thing that is the precedent that you're going to set here. If they're allowed to cherry pick a house like mine, they could go anywhere in the city and cherry pick any house. What's to prevent the next house being the Lawrence property next door? Certainly, Mr. Lawrence was a very well-known man in Saratoga Springs. He owned from the Wilton line to Lake Avenue down to East Avenue back to the Wilton line. He owned the Spring. He owned the Lawrence Printing Company. They could decide to do the same thing to the owner of that property. So I'm just asking you to give me the opportunity to have counsel represent me so that I can have a fair hearing. Because so far, I've just been blindsided by these people. I've only had one meeting, and that's with Samantha. The only other person I talked to through the years was Tom Frost, who was an advisor to the foundation. He came to the brewery when I was the manager of the tasting room at the brewery on Excelsior Avenue. And it turned out he was just seeking information for the foundation. In fact, he invited me to come to one of their meetings, and they were going to do a presentation about the property and the condition of the property and whatever. I said, well, Tom, how can they tell the condition of the property unless they've been walking all around it? And who gave them permission to be on my property? He said, oh, they didn't ask permission? No, they didn't. So, there needs to be some fairness here. They just can't come and steamroll people and not give me the same amount of time that they have to represent their side. So that's all I'm asking for tonight. There shouldn't be a rush. I know there's another council coming in. Give me a chance to have council represent me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like to speak on the Smiley Bracket Cottage as a city landmark? Yes? Go ahead.
Dr. Williams, I'm Mr. Dan's neighbor. I know he really cares about this place. I help him. His friend help him. Most neighbors help him the best we can. I'm the one who took him to the hospital the night he got injured a few weeks ago. And if he is seeking counsel to get a fair deal, I would wish that y'all would give that to him. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, Sherry Gray, resident of Saratoga Springs. I didn't intend to come up and say anything on this except that I was on Preservation Foundation board when Tom Frost met with the owner of the Brackett House. And I know that they had many, many, many conversations on how to possibly restore it, renovate it, make it at least so that it didn't fall down. So the relationship between Dan Jewett and Tom Frost went on for quite a long time. And all I can say is that Tom, at the time, worked with Mr. Jewett as much as he could to try to get him to continue to keep the buildings in good shape. After many, many times of meeting at the brewery, I think Tom finally gave up. But he had drawn up plans. He had worked with Mr. Jewett over and over again. So this has been in the Preservation Foundation's purview for, as far as I know, 20 years. It's a very important building in a very important area. And to see it develop 5 acres, developed into something other than what it currently is, would be disappointing. So I hope that whatever works out gets worked out and we continue to see the Smiley Brackett Cottage. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
Hello, my name is Robert Alden. I live at 17. I support his decision to do what he wants with his property. I don't think anybody has the right to tell how he should handle his property.
Thank you. Anyone else? Smiley Brackett Cottage as a city landmark. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, can we just comment and keep the comments out? I mean, really. Go ahead, Samantha. I'm sorry for the disruption.
We are technically the applicant of this. I understand where that
you pull the mic up so we can
I'm
hear
sorry
you.
that Dan feels this, that Mr. Jewett feels this way. We did meet. I never said that any working with us required. I said it may depend on the amount of money. It may not. I was simply offering any kind of assistance. It was an open door to have a conversation. And at that meeting, he tentatively agreed to meet with Tom and I. I called multiple times. No response. We've sent letters over the years. No response. I can't speak to before June of 2008, because I wasn't here. But I can say over the years that this has been a property that people have wanted to see preserved, and that this is a truly unparalleled property. This isn't a land grab. This isn't something that we would just do with any property. I don't even think necessarily that the other property that he mentioned would be deemed individually significant. The local preservation ordinance, the historic review ordinance, specifically doesn't require owner consent for this reason, so that buildings can be preserved for the next generation. If that were required, that would be a different conversation. It doesn't change the use of the property. It only ensures that there is a review. And that is what we're asking for. Dialogue can continue. However, it's been largely ignored. And that is troubling. And it's beyond him. And I guess that's all I have to respond to.
Thank you. Anyone else for the Smiley Bracket Cottage as a city landmark? Okay, then we will be closing this tonight also, Commissioner.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, and then we'll move on to the Weibel Avenue PUD amendment.
Again, I'll bring Vince Dealenardis up on this. This one we will be keeping open to the next, to 2022 with the next commissioner.
That's correct, Commissioner. We're keeping this application open. We were expecting information from the applicant regarding a potential modification of this, and if that comes forward, then it would be up to council to send that back for an advisory opinion from the land use boards, but we have not yet received that, so it's just a continuation of the public hearing.
Thank you. If anybody would like to speak on the Weibel Avenue PUD amendment, please step forward to the mic, state your name and address. Okay, it doesn't look like we have anybody here for that, and we are leaving that open, so we'll move into roll call, please.
Present.
Commissioner Madigan?
Present.
Commissioner Saratoga?
Here.
Commissioner Dalton?
Present.
Here.
Supervisor Beach? Supervisor Capps?
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is our public comment period. I ask you to keep your comments brief, up to 2 minutes. We will hear a bell. Yielding the time is not allowed to anyone. Public comment period will be for 15 minutes. Please be respectful and address the council as a whole. As a reminder, public comment is not a dialogue or discussion with council members. However, at the end of public comment, any council member may respond or comment. If anybody would like to speak, please come to the mic, state your name and address. Okay, nobody wants to speak? Then we'll close public comment period. Is anybody speaking? Well, come on, I'm asking. Okay, is anybody going to speak? Okay, then I'm going to close it. Nobody's speaking? I'm not going to wait. I'm going to move the meeting on. I'm waiting. I'm being very patient here.
Angela Kaufman, Stolen Land, Town of Saratoga, New York. I was at the pet store the other day buying Christmas gifts for my boys when I found the perfect gift for a mayor who appears to not be able to tell the difference between activists and cockroaches. Merry Christmas, Mayor Kelly. This is for you. Now you'll never forget. I'll leave it here for you.
I'm not accepting it. Thank you. You could take it home with you.
Oh, I don't have any use for them. I think you might need to look at them and remember.
Anybody else need
the
to speak
difference
here?
between roaches and my comrades.
Anybody else need to speak?
Samira Sangari. I just want to talk tonight about legacy and all the things that I'm not going to forget that all of y'all didn't do or did do that were just terrible throughout your whole city council term. So July 30th, Saratoga, peaceful BLM protesters were met by state police, sheriffs, and city police in riot gear with a military vehicle, and they shot pepper bullets at protesters during a Back to Blue protest. No accountability. June 28th, 2021, Catone and Robin sat side by side, fear-mongering and blaming us on fights on Caroline Street, and the Times-Union literally said, and I quote, delivered a rant filled with racist dog whistles, punctuated by what came off as a threat to summon the collective forces of the city's historically white power establishment to put an end to what he called a narrative of lies and misinformation. July 6, 2021, SSPD blocked the entrance to a public city council meeting and told Saratoga BLM activists and supporters we could not enter until their supervisor said so. Our legal observer told them they were violating the Constitution, and they laughed. Once we got up to the meeting, Mayor Kelly threatened to have us arrested if we continue to verbally agree with the public speakers by making the sounds, and it was Reverend, by the way. Mayor Kelly walked out of the meeting, and then July 14th, Saratoga Black Lives Matter holds an event protesting the racist statements of Catone. And on our way back to the park, protesters were followed by police, orders to leave, and we were blitzed on by SSPD and arrested, many of us. August 31st, the day Daryl Mount, deadly encounter of, SSPD, Robin. Saratoga Black Lives Matter has a memorial march like we do, and warrants were signed that day for violations and misdemeanors on BLM leaders. September 7th, arrested on warrants for violations and misdemeanors that could have been court summons, literally traumatizing children for what? And then I love little Madigan's little 35,000 mediation idea that literally, let's remember, is the person that controls our money and wanted to have a conversation, and then you had the nerve to say, it's hard to reach BLM when we were literally in the basement, detained in cells, separated. Oh, yeah, it is what it is. What are you going to do? Oh. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? You walked by us and you didn't care, and it's on video.
Should have accepted my invitation to meet. Should have accepted my invitation to meet.
Well, y'all shouldn't have signed warrants on bullshit misdemeanors and violations.
No, that's not what I said, and don't put words in my mouth. This is your fun. Come on, continue with your fun.
You can't bite on the bait. Let it go.
Yes. Just come on, have your fun.
Have my fun.
Yeah,
have my fun.
Every Tuesday night.
This is everything you do is traumatizing. Now you want to talk?
Keep going.
Now you want to talk? Now you want to talk and respond. Now you want to have conversation.
I'm reaching out to you guys all the time with no response.
You don't respond. You don't respond. You do bullshit.
Enjoy
you
your
literally
new counsel.
appoint Bob Jilson for assistant chief. Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
the one that literally
That's
says that we have different rights. We have different rights than shoppers and diners. Where do you see that in the Constitution? I don't know.
I don't know.
No, exactly.
I'm done here in a few days.
Well,
and I can't wait.
Well, I hope I don't get a warrant for this. So, well, this just shows you never cared about us. You never cared about the community. You never cared about Daryl. You never cared about me, my brother.
Please.
I mean, shit. We say Daryl's name every single time, and they don't even flinch. They don't even flinch. You don't give a shit about justice for him. Yeah.
Just done, right? I've got an exciting agenda to get on with tonight.
Great. Well, I can't wait for the AG to get right on your ass and, do what they got to do. And I can't wait for all the lawsuits that come your way because of you and you and you and you and you. And you. And you and you.
Okay, you're done. Next.
All right.
Next, please.
Now I'm done. And thank God I don't live here. You suck.
I just want to tell you your zipper's down.
We
so, yeah. So, anybody else?
And my kids, I'm the parent of the kids that you tried to arrest and doing all these charges. For what? Obviously, it's a joke to you, right? It must be a joke to you because it wasn't one of your kids.
In my mouth.
It wasn't any of your family.
It's not a joke.
It wasn't anybody that you cared about. So it's a joke.
Whatever.
It's not a joke to me, lady.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Okay? Just remember, it's not a joke when it's your mother.
Not a joke for me
She
either.
probably is drunk because she's always drunk. Just like the rest of the people here that never know anything. But I would like to see the charges dropped. Even the ones that took your stupid plea bargains. You guys are the worst of the worst. And how are you, Mayor? I'd like to know. You haven't even been here long enough to get insurance, but how did they vote you to get insurance when you haven't been here long enough? Whoever. One of them.
Yeah. Nice, thanks. Throw me under
One
the
of them. Whatever.
Throw me under the bus.
Well, sorry if it wasn't you, but she's too much
meals did you
anyway.
hit me with?
The point is, how did they do it? How?
Ask them.
I wonder. It proves why the AG is coming here, because this is too much bullshit, period. Too much bullshit. I have to work in my job long enough to get insurance. Why do you get the opportunity of not working as long but get insurance? I'd like to know that. That might be another investigation, okay? So just remember that.
Okay.
And if you ever are out on the street and tell me something stupid like that, like you tried to tell Samira, that everything's like a joke about my kids or anybody getting arrested.
Nobody used the word joke.
I don't think so.
Words in the mouth.
You are up here making a big joke. It wasn't a joke. It's not a joke. It's people's lives.
Okay.
White privilege right there.
Yes.
There you go, guys.
All white privilege. Got it.
Please do cut me off like you just did to my mother, you disrespectful bitch. So anyways, I just want to know, who the hell do you think you are sitting up here on your damn pedestal, bringing up your nephew who's black, who you
know
didn't
what?
birth?
I'm really tired of the lectures from this group. Move on. The rules are you don't engage with me directly.
I don't care.
Well, then, you know what? I'll be back when public comment's over to go on with my agenda.
You can do whatever you need to do. Bye. Bye. Talk to you later. I don't really care. Exactly. I don't really care.
Well,
honestly.
listen, thank God you have a new group coming in, so let's get it over with so they can get in.
So let me go ahead and
I mean, give us a break.
Let's go.
I mean, you think it's going to get better. Where's all the diversity? The diversity on those appointments. Did you see all that? So let's talk about that. Yeah. So let's go. If you want to say something, go ahead, because I am going to end public comment.
You're sitting here, progressive stack. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that.
Go
There's
ahead.
a black person speaking.
Go
so
ahead.
Your white ass should not be saying a damn thing. Okay? You should learn
you
that.
have 2
Learn
minutes.
what
Let's go.
progressive stack is. Okay?
I'm starting it now.
Oh, well, my 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to stay up here as long as I want. Just want to let you know.
Well, that's why the rules only apply to us and not to you. That's a nice
and that's why I don't really care. That's why you let that white woman come back up and do a rebuttal.
That's why I sit
and I
in this
really
chair.
don't care. So again, I don't really know why we're doing a back and forth. This isn't a dialogue. I thought it wasn't. So why are we having a dialogue? Very confused. Exactly.
I'm just done with this. There's nothing we can do.
When it comes down to marginalized people, it's a rolling our eyes. We don't care. But let's bring up our nephew. Oh my God, he's black, and they go through so much adversity. What would you even know?
Tell me, my sister takes care of your sister. Literally, she's a caretaker and a nurse. She's taking care of your sister firstly. My sister takes care of your sister.
I have no issues with that, and I don't appreciate you bringing that up.
Oh, poor thing.
I don't care. She has great staff, and you have a hell of a nerve, buddy.
Oh, we have a hell of a nerve. Are you kidding me?
To bring up my disabled sister into this conversation.
Oh, poor sibling.
Yeah, poor sibling.
Did that hurt?
That's the lowest blow that you could give anybody.
That was the lowest blow?
No, my disabled sister. You're a joke. You're a joke.
Please, with your white tears. With your
my
white
disabled
tears,
sister. Yeah, I don't advertise things out there, you know.
No one said anything.
Listen, I'm done. If you want to speak, go ahead and speak.
Are you? Y'all, this is ridiculous. I mean.
I'm pretty sure you arrest my sister just fine.
Yep.
You threatened my sister just fine.
And you're smiling just fine after you just wanted to bring up your little white tears about your sister again. Like, y'all are so sad.
Didn't get to have dinner because, I come here twice a month to do city business.
Neither did I, baby. Neither did I, baby girl. I came right here from work. Didn't get to eat dinner. Didn't get a chance to do nothing. I came here to deal with this. Here I am. Did y'all eat dinner? What'd y'all have for dinner? Y'all have anything good? Or are you still here because of them, right? I thought so. That's what I thought. A lot of people don't eat dinner. Oh, did you get something on you? Oh. Y'all are really just gross, disgusting people. This is your legacy. This is your legacy. This is exactly how you're ending. Oh my God. I have no words for these people. I really do not. Y'all are disgusting. I can't.
Okay, do you have a comment, sir?
I do.
Go ahead. State your name and address, please.
Matthew Marshall, Albany. I think one of the problems going on here is that this is not fun for anybody. This is not fun for people.
Oh, we're having a ball.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you are. This is not fun for the people that are here.
It's not fun here either. So I don't need to hear that. Do you have a comment?
This is a comment. So, also the other part of the comment is that you have 3 days here, but still technically you guys are serving this. A few of the people that are sitting here are actually being extremely professional, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that from the few of you that are being professional. People who are coming here are coming from jobs. You guys work during the day. I get it. You guys could be with your family, could be doing dinner. So are the other people that are here. People could be with their family, with their kids, but they actually care enough about their community. Whether or not you guys like their tactics or not, they care about their community enough to be here. They don't have to be. I think it says a lot that right now it's just running out the clock. I have 3 days left. You still have 3 days. You're still a public servant for 3 days.
We have 10 days, but that's okay.
Sorry. 10 days, okay. Well, okay, you got 10. There's 10 days. This is not fun for everybody. Not fun at all. I think you guys really did not do what you wanted to do, didn't do anything that you guys think you came into office for. But this is a big problem of turning your back and eating dinner, acting like this is a joke. Whether or not you like the personal attacks or not, people here are beholden to the public, whether or not the public is agreeable, disagreeable. Your job here is for the public, not for anybody else, not for yourself.
Thank you.
You got 10 days left. Do something with it. Don't be a failure, just like you have been the rest of your term. Some of you have been all right.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I got my grandkids out here. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Who has a warrant? She has a warrant for what? She has a warrant for what? A warrant for what? A warrant for what? I want to know for what? These are my children. For what? For what? You need to tell me something right now. This is ridiculous shit. This is ridiculous. With kids and stuff out here. This is ridiculous. They just arrested.
I do have a comment, by the way. I do have a comment. My name's Gabrielle Elliott. I live in Boston Spa. Let this be something that haunts you. The cry of my innocent children screaming for me, while moments prior they saw their father taken from them by the police on a bogus warrant. Let this remind you of all the terror you have caused on innocent people in your community. Those children you just heard crying for their mommy are my babies. There was no need for a warrant, which resulted in their dad being detained. Thankfully, I care and I have compassion for people, especially my loved ones, which is why my kids and I came to that station on September 7th. No one knew what was going on with Alexis. And what's even more sickening and disheartening is you, Robin, and you, Meg Kelly, looked at me as my kids are outside and acted like you had no idea what was going on. But you, Meg Kelly, you filed false charges against Alexis. You are part of the reason why my kids were ripped from me and their father. Alexis and Chandler are my family. You have went above and beyond, abusing your power to tear our family apart. Your lies, your manipulation have resulted in more trauma on all of us, more than you will ever realize. The public racist remarks, the cover-ups, the false reports, fake warrants, false imprisonment, made-up charges, sketchy notes on people's doorsteps, death threats, and result of y'all's false statements, new meeting rules, abuse of power have all been scare tactics made at the hands of our city's finest, paid by our dollars to silence our community members. Just to stop and think for 1 second, this all could have been avoided. It all could have been avoided. We should have not have to be here today. And every other day we have all had to show up to fight for someone who has lost their life at the hands of your police department. Daryl Mount should be here. There should have been an investigation. You have managed to waste thousands of dollars on thousands of city taxpayer dollars on a fake investigation on BLM activists that have caused zero harm to the community members. Every single one of you could have done the right thing by putting pressure on Karen. Letitia wouldn't be looking into your police department and your unlawful procedures that you have condoned since day one and taken part of if you had just done the right thing. If you had seen that what we all want is what's morally right. You have criminalized people for using their rights that we all are entitled to make changes to our city. Let this joke of a city council that I stand before right now have their last circus act to put on for their community. Your reign is over. You've caused enough damage. Let the door hit your ass on the way out. Justice for Daryl Mount. Now let the new city council show you what it's really about. Fuck you.
Anyone else?
Alexis Figueroa, Saratoga Springs. It's real funny that all these people are mothers and fathers and all our family members. And I love how you get so emotional about your sister. And when I mentioned about my sister taking care of your sister, now I put it in no evil context whatsoever. That's evil to say my sister takes care of your sister?
That was evil.
Yeah? I never heard of that. That is showing just how human we are and how good we are people. My sister decided to take the job to take care of your sister. That just shows you the people, you never know who the people that you are talking against. You don't never know who the people you are treating like crap in your city. It could be somebody who literally takes care of your own family, or maybe one day, like we said, you are very old, might take care of you when you are older. They are nurses. That's plain and simple. So you got to watch how you treat people. You treat people how you want to be treated. That's plain and simple. It wouldn't be nice if my sister treated your sister not fairly, but it's okay for you to treat my sister unfairly. It's crazy when I get passionate about my sister, but you can scream and get angry about your sister because you're passionate about that, because you care about your sister, right? But if I care about my sister, that's a problem. I'm a monster.
There's no comparison.
There's no comparison? No comparison? So you're telling me your sister's a better person than my sister?
There's no comparison to the situation.
There's no comparison?
Continue on.
There's a big comparison to it. The comparison is that my sister is a community member of this community. Your sister is a community member of this community. My sister, black sister, takes care of your white sister just fine. Good care of her. She's safe in our hands. takes care of her, and you can't even say, I'm glad that your sister takes care of my sister. Thank you for your sister to take care of my sister. Thank you for your sister keeping my sister safe. Thank you for my sister making sure that she has well-being. You don't care about that. Instead, you try to use it as a tactic to play the fragility. Oh, now you're talking about my sister. Oh, you did something like this and that. Oh, you shot us with pepper bullets. Oh, you arrested us. Oh, you have my kids all knocked around with little 2-year-olds and 6-year-olds. But once again, that doesn't equate to each other. Only what you say matters. If I say something that matters, or a community member says something that matters, it doesn't matter. Robin Dalton says something that matters, it matters. Madigan wants to talk about her son, that matters. I haven't heard much about her son in the newspapers or anything in the news. I'm pretty sure he's facing a felony, right?
Drop it, all right?
Drop it?
Yeah, like, don't bring up my family.
Why not? You bring up my family. You bring up my family. You bring up my family. Madigan, I've known you long before the city council and long before Black Lives Matter.
None of you know me.
I don't know you. I've known you at that cocktail bar, and I've known you when I was serving you, so I did know you. I known you good enough. You and your husband, longer before I knew anybody else in here.
You people are abusive to this city council.
Who's you people?
Abusive, and frankly, Mayor, I think you should close public comment. You are abusive to us. We are not your whipping post.
Who is you people?
You are abusive to this council.
Who is you people?
And you know, Tish James is going to see that. How abusive you are when you come to this council.
That black woman is going to see exactly how you treat black women and black men.
Abusive.
That's what she's going to see.
I've invited you into this city council many times.
Have I met with you before?
You didn't want us.
Have we had a meeting? We met before. We met before. That's a lie. That's a lie. We met for over 3 hours in your office.
And you should all be ashamed of yourselves.
We didn't meet with you?
You come here, you insult us.
Did I meet with you?
You insult our families.
Did I meet with you, Madigan?
You take our words out of context. Sit down.
Madigan.
Close this public.
Did I meet you? Did I meet with you, Madigan? Did I not sit in your office for 3 hours?
Okay, can you finish up and you'll be the last person?
Going.
Thank you.
That's what you do. You keep
So
the
public comment is now closed. Thank you. We're going to move on with city business. Thank you.
That's nice. This was part of city business as well.
On to the consent agenda. We have a presentation.
Madigan, you are trash.
Goodbye.
You are trash.
Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for insulting me. Thank you for insulting me again.
Deirdre, let's go.
You insult all the time. You've called me an alcoholic here. You're calling me trash. I've never insulted you. You should be ashamed. Well, you should be.
Go ahead, Deirdre.
Good for you. We're on to our presentation.
Jim, get something up there.
Thank you, Mayor. Jim Baker and I will make this short. I know
you.
the agenda is lengthy tonight. At the 5-year mark, Civic Plus, the city's website vendor, offered us a free refresh of our website's design. Since the city's website is now over 6 years old, Jim and I were anxious to take advantage of Civic Plus's offer. And tonight we'd like to present the city's newly designed website, which will be launched tomorrow afternoon. But before the reveal, we'd like to review what our current site looks like. As you can see, there are main headers at the top, subheaders underneath. Many of the quick access buttons are floating around on the photo. There are definitely some design and navigation challenges that we wanted to address. There was an overall dated look. Our city's name got lost in the banner picture.
You know what, Deirdre, could you just wait 1 second?
Because
I'd like to introduce you yet another project the finance department works on, but let's wait till they exit the room.
Go.
Okay, thank you for the insults.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay.
Let's wait till the noise stops. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Deirdre. Just keep going. I need you to keep going. Thank you.
So there were definitely some design and navigation challenges with the old site. An overall dated look. Our city's name was getting lost in the banner pictures as well as the quick access buttons. There was no one contact page. The mobile design view was not very user-friendly. So, drum roll, please. We now have a refreshed new website. Yay! And as you can see, there are new photos, a brand new color scheme, overall new layout and designs. Some of the photos were donated to the city by an FIT student, Logan Hicks, who grew up in Saratoga Springs. And also some were paid for by a local professional photographer, Tom Stock. The seal and the city name no longer get lost in the banner picture. The banner pictures are bigger and brighter. And the main goal, though, beyond the refreshed look, was to improve the navigation. The primary headers at the top did stay the same, but there are more options to quickly find information and links. We changed the crowded menu format to make it both easy and kind of fun to hover over the buttons. As you can see, it changes color, and there's horses and springs within them. Kind of a nod to the city's motto of health, history, and horses, as well as the phrase, the city and the country. Scrolling down, we have the latest news and announcements, again with the springs, much bigger pictures and easy to find information. And then scrolling down even further, we have the calendar pages, which are more user-friendly and easy to navigate. Most people view websites on their cell phones, so we wanted to make it easy to scroll on those devices as well. So the new website will have a user-friendly look on smartphones. It will have a more linear layout, and everything is, again, bigger for easy to navigate on the phone. The process of refreshing the website involves Civic Plus giving us a variety of examples of sites that they created for other cities. Civic Plus has thousands of customers, so this was fun but a daunting process. And as we reviewed other cities' sites, we saw that the subsites for fire, police, and rec looked a whole lot better than ours. So a few months ago, the council approved and paid for the design upgrade from standard to premium. And now the fire, police, and rec sites will look consistent with the main site, but will each have an individualized and more current design layout. The color scheme will be coordinated. There'll be more modern icons and department-specific information in the latest news and events calendar. Technically speaking, the fire, police, and rec subsites will have a unique color palette and improved widget placement for the customization of icons and graphics. So, in closing, we're excited to announce that tomorrow Civic Plus will launch our refreshed website, which means all content will be put into the new design format, and the upgrades to the subsites of fire, police, and rec will be done in February. We hope to continue the momentum of improving and updating our website by gathering a team together at the city, and we hope that they'll take advantage of some of the civic engagement tools that Civic Plus offers. In the meantime, we're happy that this new design has been done, and we look forward to what the committee will do in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Deirdre. That was great.
Thank you.
I really, I love that they'll be on the smartphones, so that'll be great.
Deirdre,
Really
it
great.
looks really good. And Jim, who's over there operating from the computer, they have been both working very, very hard on this and with Civic Plus for the last several months. And I'm really pleased that we're going to be able to roll out a refresh in time for the next and new administration. Thank you for all your work, both of you, on this.
Thank you, guys.
This looks.
Thank you, Jim.
Can I just pop in and say one more thing? I've actually worked on the back end of the Civic Plus website, and I know how complicated it is. So to see the refresh look this great is amazing. So congratulations on a tremendous job. It's so much more user friendly, so much more visually appealing. It's so much more intuitive. Thank you so much. It's a huge effort.
You're welcome.
I like the shot at Congress Park too, by the way.
It looks great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks. Good job.
Thank you, Deirdre. Moving on to the consent agenda, I move that the City Council approve the consent agenda as included with the agenda. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I have to make two corrections to the consent agenda. Item number 10 is to approve the 21 mid-warrant MW December 5, not 12 MW December 5, DEC 5. And then item number 11 should say and approve 21 mid-warrant MW December 3rd, DEC 3, not 2021 MW DEC 3. So if we can make those changes with the motion, right? Clerk?
Is that Lisa?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. Thank you. On to the Mayor's Department. My first item is an announcement. 2022 Community Development Block Grant application period is open. The Community Development Department is currently accepting sub-grant committee applications for the 2022 CDBG program year. Guidance and application materials are now available on the city's website. Completed applications will be due to the Office of Community Development via online submission by 4:30 p.m. on Monday, January 31, 2022. My second item is an appointment to the Design Review Commission alternate. I am appointing Christine Muir Vaglioghi as an alternate to the DRC. She will complete the term for Tad Romer, who will become a full member in July. Become a full member. Christina is a historic site restoration coordinator at the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. She has been with the state since 2016, and prior to that, she worked for preservation architects in New York City and Albany. She has a master's degree in historic preservation from Columbia University. Christine's term is effective today and continues through 6/30/22. My next appointment is Design Review Commission alternate. I am appointing Karen Cavada as an alternate to the DRC. Karen is moving from a full member seat to an alternate effective today, expiring 6/30/23. And I thank Karen for continuing to serve on the city's DRC. My fourth item is another appointment to the Design Review Commission. I'm appointing Jeff Gritsavage to the DRC effective today. Jeff has been an alternate and will continue as a full member through 6/30/26. Thank you, Jeff, for continuing on. My next item is another appointment to the Planning Board. Tonight, I'm appointing Charles Marshall to complete the term of Sarah Bovin, who resigned in November. Chuck holds a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Clarkson University and a master's degree in public administration from Rockefeller College. He lives in Saratoga's West Side and can often be seen chasing his kids around their backyard or being chased around Pitney Farm or the West Side Rec. Chuck's term is effective today and continues through 12/31/25. Thank you for your service to the city. My next item is discussion and vote. Accept the 2021-2022 basketball sponsors. I'd like to acknowledge these sponsors first. Adirondack Trust Company, $275. Adirondack Insurance, Amshire, $275. Asphalt Fence, $275. Allardyce Building Supply, $275. Bonaccio Construction, $275. Cudney's Launders and Dry Cleaners, $275. Flatbed Social, Ryan McFadden, $250. Henry Street Tap Room, Ryan McFadden, $250. Holiday Inn, $275. Saratoga Spirit, Malloy Partners, $275. Principessa Elena Women's Club Auxiliary, $275. Saratoga PBA has two teams, $500. Saratoga Rotary Club, $275. Saratoga Springs Fire Department Local 343, $275. Saratoga Springs Lions, $275. Saratoga Wilton's Lodge 161, $275. This is the kind of community involvement and support that continues to make Saratoga Springs this special place it is. Together with these sponsorships, the total is $4,575, and we appreciate their generous support. I move that the City Council accept the 2021-2022 basketball sponsors. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign Addendum 1 with Pillar Design Studios, LLC, Pillar Designs. I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign Addendum 1 with Pillar Designs, LLC, Pillar Designs. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote approval to pay invoices number 13530, number 13553, number 13595, number 12972, and number 13628 in the total amount of $1,253.50 to Walton Sports Shops. These invoices are for the cost of shirts and jerseys included with the registration fees paid by the players. Invoices are more than 30 days and require council approval per city purchasing policy. I move that the City Council authorize the payment of these invoices number 13530, 13553, 13595, 12972, and 13628 in the total amount of
Right, in your...
is $1,253.50. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote introduction to ICE promotion. The Recreation Department is recommending issuing a minimum of 100 passes, approximately value of $1,000, up to a maximum of 200 passes, approximately value of $2,000. We hope that this will increase attendance during open, public, and family skate sessions. I move that the City Council authorize the introduction to ICE promotion. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote approval to pay $15,000 invoice to RK Height for work related to the right-of-way services for the downtown connector. The City of Saratoga Springs is under contract with Greenman Pedersen Inc. GPI to complete PIN number 176.86 downtown connector preliminary and final engineering for the Saratoga Greenbelt Trail downtown connector. GPI was selected utilizing the New York State Department of Transportation locally designed services agreement process. In the original contract, GPI included RK Height as a subcontractor to provide legal services to the city in support of the right-of-way work for the incidentals and acquisition phase services for PIN number 176.86 downtown connector preliminary and final engineering contract. I move that this City Council approve the payment of $15,000 invoice to RK Height for work related in the right-of-way services downtown connector. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote approval for mayor to sign contract with Height and Beaumont for the downtown connector trail. Height and Beaumont will provide legal services in support of the city attorney's office defense of the EDPL Article 5 claim from the right-of-way easement required for the Saratoga Greenbelt downtown connector. Legal services are necessary to support legal claim that has been asserted on behalf of 225 Excelsior Holdings, LLC, with respect to the city's acquisition of a permanent easement interest and temporary easement interest in, on, or over, and through portions of the premises situated at 225 Excelsior Ave, Saratoga Springs, New York, and bearing the tax map partial 166 -1-2. I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Height and Beaumont for the downtown connector trail. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just didn't hear one thing you said in one of your early agenda items. Who are you replacing Sarah Bovin with on the planning board?
Charles Marshall.
Chuck Marshall from Storts?
So
Okay.
yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yes.
I didn't hear you. Thank you.
And I'll turn it over to you, Commissioner Frank,
Yes, Mayor,
for Board
thank
of
you.
Bid.
We're just jumping ahead before you do item number 12. Number 1 on my agenda is award of bid, Land Use Board Legal Counsel to Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner, LLC. Upon the recommendation of the Mayor's Department, I move to award the bid for Land Use Board Legal Counsel to Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner, LLC at a rate of $230 per hour and not to exceed $50,000. That's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. On to number 12, discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign agreement with Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner for legal services. Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner will be providing the city with land use board services in support of the Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals. The contract is through 12/31/22 and has an option to renew 1 year up to 3 years. The agreement is for services not to exceed $50,000. I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign agreement with Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner for legal services. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote donation of 40-hour sick time from employee number 2615 to employee number 2947. This donation was on the December 7th agenda, but there was an error in employee ID number. I move that the City Council authorize a donation of 40 hours of sick time from employee number 2615 to employee number 2947. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign renewal agreement with ESI for EAP in 2022. The city provides an employee assistance program, EAP, to covering all employees and their immediate household family members. This benefit offers professional counseling services as well as compliance and safety training. The city is currently contracted with ESI, and we are renewing our agreement with ESI for 2022. There is no rate increase for this service. I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign renewal agreement with the ESI for EAP in 2022. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to execute bargaining agreement between city and police administrative officers unit. This agreement brings the MOAs established over the recent years into the main document. I move that this city council authorize the mayor to execute the collective bargaining agreements between the city and the police administrators officers unit. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes. My next item is discussion and vote seeker evaluation for the Unified Development Ordinance. And I'll call Vince DeLeonardis up to go through the seeker evaluation.
Mayor, I was just actually having a conversation with Patrick Cogan. Also on the agenda this evening is a proposed amendment to the current zoning ordinance to include a historic landmark, the Smiley Bracket Cottage. Perhaps it would be a good idea to move to Commissioner Frank's agenda, have a discussion and vote on that. And if that vote is ultimately successful, perhaps depending on where the UDO goes, that could be a friendly amendment. That matter did go through the public notice process. It was reviewed by the land use boards. So if that is a successful vote, I do think it would be appropriate to incorporate into the UDO as a friendly amendment at the table.
Sure. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Frank, please.
Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? Mayor, so this would be item number 12 on my agenda. It's discussion and vote Smiley Bracket zoning amendment. There was a public hearing that we did close earlier this evening. This zoning amendment does not require seeker evaluation, so I will just make a motion. I move that the proposed action is a type 2 action, and the action of the designation of a local landmark or inclusion within a historic district has been determined to be precluded from environmental review under the Environmental Conservation Law, Article 8. Therefore, I propose the Smiley Bracket Cottage be designated as a local landmark within the city of Saratoga Springs. That's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to briefly say that I have worked with Samantha Boshart and the Preservation Foundation as well as code enforcement over the last 2 years as it pertains to the Smiley Bracket Cottage, and we weren't able to get anywhere with the owner. So, in an effort to make sure that the property is maintained and preserved and treasured for years to come, I think this is a very important designation and important that we do it now.
Any other discussion?
I mean, I think it's important to to preserve it. I understand it's a landmark. I mean, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place because I know both parties here and I know them very well, and I certainly don't want to sound like we're trying to take any rights away from anybody. And as far as having the city make this a landmark. But I think it's important, again, growing up in the city, I think there are a lot of landmarks that I think we all wish that were still here that are gone. The big hotels on Broadway, a lot of you people are too young to really realize what was here and what now is gone. I hope, and I really hope, and I trust Sam, and to sit down and talk with Mr. Jewett. I hope you can work out the differences in regards to how this whole thing is going to play out. That's.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments?
I also support the designation as a city landmark.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, and we'll return back to my agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. So the next item on the agenda is with regard to the seeker environmental review for the Unified Development Ordinance. We've gone through a lengthy process with regard to the UDO, public hearings, and we have the part 1 of the seeker environmental form that's been uploaded with the agenda. This is in large part a continuation of the seeker evaluation that was previously done at the end of 2019 with regard to the initial 18 zoning map amendments. So if everyone is comfortable with the information contained in the part 1, that includes the project, the information relevant to that, we'll move into the part 2. And for the benefit of the council, as I typically do, I will go through and read the proposed answers that the mayor has put together. Feel free to interrupt me or stop with any questions, but keep in mind as we go through this that the action or project is a legislative action, and be mindful of that as we go through the analysis. So with regard to the seeker, number 1, impact on land. The proposed action may involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of the proposed site. The proposed answer to that is no. Number 2, impact on geological features. The proposed action may result in the modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the site. Example, cliffs, dunes, minerals, fossils, caves. The proposed answer to that is no. Number 3, impacts on surface water. The proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies. Example, streams, rivers, ponds, or lakes. The proposed answer to that is no. Number 4, impact on groundwater. The proposed action may result in new or additional use of groundwater or may have the potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater or an aquifer. The proposed answer to that is no. Number 5, impact on flooding. The proposed action may result in development on lands subject to flooding. The proposed answer is no. Number 6, impacts on air. The proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source. The proposed answer is no. Number 7, impacts on plants and animals. The proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna. The proposed answer is no. Number 8, impact on agricultural resources. The proposed action may impact agricultural resources, and the proposed answer is no. Number 9, impact on aesthetic resources. The land use of the proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. The proposed answer is no. Number 10, impact on historic and archaeological resources. The proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource. The proposed answer is no. Number 11, impact on open space and recreation. The proposed action may result in a loss of recreational opportunities or a reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. The proposed answer is no. Number 12, impact on critical environmental areas. The proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area. The proposed answer is no. Number 13, impact on transportation. The proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. The proposed answer is no. 14, impact on energy. The proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. The proposed answer is no. Number 15, impact on noise, odor, and light. The proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting. The proposed answer is no. Number 16, impact on human health. The proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. The proposed answer is no. Number 17, consistency with community plans. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans. And the proposed answer is no. That is, it is consistent. Number 18, consistency with community character. The proposed project is inconsistent with the existing community character. The proposed answer is no. That is, it is consistent. So if everyone is comfortable with the proposed answers for the Part 2 and agreeable with that, and with the understanding that as we progress to the UDO vote, we will be looking at a friendly amendment to incorporate the land use, the historic designation you just had a vote on. But Mayor, if you're comfortable, you can
Sure.
move on to the Part 3.
Yep. Upon review of this information recorded on this EAF, as noted, and considering both the magnitude and importance of each identified potential impact and its conclusion, it is the conclusion of the Saratoga Springs City Council as lead agency that this project will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared. Accordingly, this negative declaration is issued, and I put that in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes. Thank you. Moving on to my next item is discussion and vote, adopt the Unified Development Ordinance. I am pleased to have this item on my agenda at last. Although it took us much longer to get here than we had hoped, I believe that the additional time and attention to the detail have been important. I would like to thank Arista and Chris from Camaros, who I think are watching via live stream. It has been a pleasure working with you both. I would also like to thank my staff, Lisa Shields, for leading the team through this comprehensive effort and getting us to this point. Vince DeLeonardis for providing council and the public with thorough and valuable updates as the UDO progressed, meeting after meeting. Patrick Cogan, who must live by these regulations in the UDO and enforce them. No doubt he has them in his photographic memory already. And it is Patrick and Susan Barden, Amanda Tucker, Anisha Samuels, and Tina Carton, who have worked closely with Camaros over the past 3 years in drafting, reviewing, deliberating, and refining the document that we will vote on tonight. I move that the City Council adopt the Unified Development Ordinance as published with this agenda on the city website. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, just for the record, to indicate that motion will also include the friendly amendment of the historic designation of the Smiley Bracket Cottage.
Yes, and that will include the friendly amendment. Lisa, did you catch that for the Smiley Bracket House? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Well,
can I hear?
I just wanted to. I'm sorry.
You want to comment?
Yeah, things are moving a little quickly. I wanted to say that this has been a 6-year-long process, and your staff, this team, with input from the public and a lot of good input from Sustainable Saratoga, have really put together a good document that I think will work well for the city in the future. This isn't, this is about the entire city and a lot of people that put a lot of hard work into this. And we, even through public comment and a lot of our workshops, there were some issues of, contention, some things that people wanted to see. But the overriding thing that I heard from the public, even for people who maybe wanted to see some changes, was that they also wanted to see this UDO adopted for the city. So I will be supporting it this evening.
Thank you. I second those comments. And I know that, the planning staff, my city attorney, my deputy have worked hours after hours, and I see them sitting in the audience tonight, and they're tired. But, tonight's the night. Hopefully we can put this to bed. But I do want to thank everybody and their effort, and it is probably the biggest legislation that we've been doing, in this council or many councils before us. So all those in favor, any comments?
Well, I do, yes.
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Mayor. Again, I want to thank all the people that worked on this. I know it was a long, hard process, and we've been working on it for probably a couple of years now.
3
years.
On my time.
3 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I did have some concerns, and I still have the same concerns. I don't believe that it does enough to protect the Greenbelt. I think it could be a little more stringent when it comes to the designs in the gateway. I know we had that workshop with Sustainable Saratoga, and I kind of agree with some of the things that they were trying to put across to the council. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So for those reasons, and again, you know, we're in this pandemic, and I understand you want to get this thing done. Believe me, you know, I know you worked hard on it. But we're in this pandemic, and a lot of people that really would probably come here to speak won't come here. You know, we could have got, I think, some more public input on it. Again, you know, because it's in the final stages. I can't support it.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, Commissioner Dalton?
Yep, I have a comment as well.
Go ahead.
I hate to contextualize this in terms of all the work that's put into it by the staff and all the folks that you just mentioned, because in no way, shape, or form is my opinion disrespecting their work or their effort or their expertise. But fundamentally, I have serious objections to this UDO that have not been addressed. Everything from the greenbelt protections that Commissioner Saratoga articulated to things that I asked for in the spring, such as running some test cases through this UDO to see how it would work in real life. We never did any of those things, although they were promised to me. I'm concerned that some of the people who were the most responsible for moving this forward aren't going to be here in 2022. That concerns me greatly. The only person on this council that's going to be here in 2022 is Commissioner Saratoga, who doesn't believe we should vote yes to this tonight. And that, I think, says a lot. I also have received tremendous input from the public on this, as I know the council has as well. 98% of the input I've gotten from the public has been vote no or delay the vote on this. So again, I will be voting not in favor of adopting this tonight.
Tanya, Commissioner Frank, you have any comments?
Yeah, I mean, the new, to Commissioner Dalton's point, the new council, there'll be time if they want to make adjustments to this. So I was originally going to abstain from this, but after we had the meeting with Sustainable Saratoga, I was underwhelmed by Sustainable Saratoga's arguments. I think anybody who watched that meeting, I think Patrick answered those questions, and there was just some absurd things that they were asking for. And also Sustainable Saratoga always seems to be focused on the east of the Northway, and the rest of the city they just don't ever seem to be too focused on. In my 16 years, that's been a pretty consistent item that I've seen here. But I'm going to vote yes on this, and it's not just because of hard work, because yes, I think, Mayor, if we didn't have COVID, I think this would have gone a lot quicker, but there's not much, nobody planned that. But I was sold at that meeting when Sustainable Saratoga came in, based pretty much predominantly on what Patrick Hogan had brought forward, so I am going to vote yes on this.
I just have to I think it's really disrespectful to say that Sustainable Saratoga's questions at that workshop were absurd. I mean, you're talking about a group of residents who are volunteering their time to protect something they're passionate about, and you're qualifying their questions and concerns as absurd. I mean, I just think that's incredibly disrespectful.
I may have used the word absurd. I don't believe so, but what I said was
you said absurd.
All right. Well, that may be the case, but at the end of the day,
you're voting yes, so that's
okay.
I'm voting yes, so I don't really
Thank you.
know what else to tell you, Commissioner.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? There's no dialogue here, so please be quiet. Yeah. So any opposed?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So the matter passes. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you to my staff. I appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to add an item to my agenda. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes. My last item is discussion and vote approval to pay invoice for Harris Beach for legal services for ethics matter. This is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes. Thank you. I have closing comments, and then I'll turn it over to Commissioner Frank. At this time, I'd like to thank the citizens of Saratoga Springs for trusting me as your mayor for the last 4 years. I will be finishing my second term on December 31. I have been in City Hall for 5.5 years, working diligently with integrity, and with a great team, we have accomplished a lot. We survived the City Hall fire, which displaced City Hall employees to the Recreation Center in August of 2018. The enjoyment of working in an open environment at the Recreation Center was unmatched. We all had the opportunity to get to see and know each other in different ways, much more than at City Hall. We entered a global pandemic in early 2020, turning us all upside down. On top of that, we had a new level of social uprising in our streets. Even with all of this going on, we accomplished more than previous administrations ever dreamed. We completed the long-awaited parking structure, which ended the lengthy litigation. We secured the land for the much-needed third firehouse, working with New York State, NYRA, and the Franchise Oversight Board. We completed the Geyser Trail, which ended 3 lawsuits against the city. We completed and passed the Unified Development Ordinance, creating one cohesive document to enable clearer guidelines on current and future development in the city of Saratoga Springs. These are just a few of our top accomplishments. Our team completed several other projects, including new playgrounds throughout the city, ending the gun show, food drives, creation of the first homeless court, assisting in housing the homeless at the Holiday Inn during the height of the pandemic, securing picnic tables at the NYRA for Congress Park, testifying twice in Albany to reinstate the video lottery terminal funding, remove the scrapyard on South Franklin Street. All 7 union contracts are up to date and secure for coming years. We secured the land from Empire State College for Haller Lane connection, reinstated the Plumbers Board, which was written into our charter, and added more parking at the Recreation Center by a land donation from an adjacent developer. We have improved service levels in the Building and Planning Department and provided systems that did not exist to track and report on active workloads. We have defined key performance indicators, and based on real-time information, management can now make data-driven staffing decisions in response to the high volumes of development and construction activity in our city. As you can see, we have a great team in the mayor's department. I want to personally thank my deputy mayor, Lisa Shields. Lisa Shields worked with every department in City Hall, partnering to embrace change, create solutions to problems never encountered by previous administrations. She is an exceptional leader and has applied her business and IT experience to raise the bar in the mayor's department. She is an outstanding project manager who sees projects from conception to completion, and I know this list is endless. Lisa, so many of us consider you like family, and I know, as well as all the city employees, that we are so grateful for your tireless dedication to our work here. We would not have this long list of accomplishments without you and your skill set leading the way. Thank you, Lisa.
Yay, Lisa.
Yeah.
Woo.
Vince DeLeonardis, our full-time city attorney. Vince, there is so much I want to say. We could not have accomplished what we did without you at the helm. I'm going to tell you the immense amount of work that you did, countless hours, weekends, evenings, unbelievable. Your vast and deep knowledge, work ethic, and ability to work kindly and patiently with everyone was such an asset, and you will truly be missed by the city of Saratoga Springs. Thank you. Tony Izzo, our assistant city attorney for 36 years. Also, my high school classmate. Yeah, your service to our great city is just invaluable, Tony. The historical perspective that you have provided has enabled us to avoid repeating the same mistakes from the past. We have been so lucky to have you as a resource to keep the city moving in the right direction. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your dedication to this great city. Thank you, Tony. Day or night, Vince and Tony were always available and willing to listen and help out with anything that I needed. They took time to educate us, to ensure us to understand the legal and moral pros and cons of each decision we made. The city is losing this amazing team, and there are big shoes to fill. We will miss you all. Christy Spadaro, our incredible human resource administrator, thank you for the endless hours of support in all aspects of City Hall life. You are the glue that keeps us moving in the right direction. I wish you nothing but continued success in your service to the city, and I know that you will continue to do the right thing. Thank you to all the employees in the Mayor's Department and beyond my office throughout City Hall. I wish you all well and continued success. I truly hope our city can continue to flourish and keep moving projects forward to make the city better for everyone. And that concludes my agenda. On to accounts.
Thank you, Mayor. So we're going to go to item number 2 because we did item number 1 earlier. That's the appointment of Stacy Connors as Deputy Commissioner of Accounts. I am appointing Stacy Connors as Deputy Commissioner of Accounts. Stacy has graciously agreed to start early to assist with the transition process. She will also be appointed by Commissioner Moran on January 1st. Just to give you a background, Stacy served more than 14 years in staff leadership positions at the Iroquois Healthcare Association, a major coalition of hospitals and healthcare providers. Her background in advocacy, communication, and customer service will provide to be an asset for the department and for city residents. And this was a good meeting to break her in on. So she's back here behind. So congratulations, Stacy.
Welcome.
Mayor, now before I can do item number 3, we're going to have to do a little hopscotch to go over to Commissioner Scirocco so he can do his items number 1 and 2 first.
You want me to do 1 and 2?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay, the first item on my agenda is discussion and vote. Authorization for termination of a contract with Surpass Chemical Company, Incorporated for the orthophosphate. The contract with Surpass for orthophosphate used at the water treatment plant was brought to the council and approved on June 1st, 2021. This contract was not set to expire until June 1st, 2022. In September of 2021, Surpass contacted DPW stating they could no longer honor the contracted pricing from the current contract and requested a termination of the contract. Surpass has submitted a signed confirmation of termination letter, which has been described with this agenda. Therefore, I move for the approval to terminate contract with Surpass Chemical Company, Inc. for the orthophosphate, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
The second item on my agenda is discussion and vote. Authorization for termination of contract with Casella for municipal solid waste removal. The agreement with Casella Waste was approved by the council on January 21st, 2020 for municipal solid waste removal at the transfer station. This agreement was not due to expire until 12/31/22. Casella requested to terminate their contract early, stating they could no longer honor the contracted pricing on the current contract. This was due to increases on fuel, disposal costs, insurance, and fleet maintenance. Casella has submitted a signed confirmation of termination letter, which has been distributed with this agenda. Therefore, I move for the approval to terminate the contract with Casella Waste Systems, Inc. for municipal solid waste removal, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Okay, Mayor. So now I'll jump in for item 3.
Yep.
Thank you, Commissioner Scirocco. Number 3 is award of bid orthophosphate to Surplus Chemical upon the recommendation of Department of Public Works. I move to award the bid for orthophosphate for the year 2022 to Surplus Chemical at $1.33 per pound, not to exceed $70,048.44, and that's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 4 is award of bid municipal solid waste to county waste upon the recommendation of the Department of Public Works. I move to award the bid for the municipal solid waste to county waste in the amount not to exceed $86,430. It's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 5 is award of bid landfill post-closure to CT Mail Associates upon the recommendation of Department of Public Works. I move to award the bid for landfill post-closure to CT Mail Associates in an amount not to exceed $11,414. That's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 6 is award of bid landfill gas operation monitoring and maintenance to Wayran LFG Services LLC. Upon the recommendation of the Department of Public Works, I move to award the bid for landfill gas operation monitoring and maintenance to Wayran LFG Services LLC in the amount not to exceed $17,760. That's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 7 is award of bid precast manholes, catch basins, dry wells, risers, frames, and covers to Paletti Stone Corp. Upon the recommendation of the Department of Public Works, I move to award the bid for precast manholes, catch basins, dry wells, risers, frames, and covers to Paletti Stone Corp. in the amount not to exceed $80,853. It's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 8, award of bid, portable barrier system to Advanced Security Technologies, LLC. Upon the recommendation of the Safety Committee, I move to award the bid for portable barrier systems to Advanced Security Technologies, LLC, for an amount not to exceed $40,052. It's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 9 is discussion and vote authorization for mayor to sign contract with Advanced Security Technologies for vehicle barriers. I move to authorize the mayor to sign the contract with Advanced Security Technologies for vehicle barriers as included with the agenda, and that's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 10, discussion and vote authorization for mayor to sign contract with Adirondack Cabling and Security. This contract is for maintenance and software. I move to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Adirondack Cabling and Security as included with the agenda. That's a motion.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Okay. Item number 11 is discussion and vote adopt local law number 3, Interlaken, not PUD, but Interlaken Special Assessment District, SAD. We closed the public hearing on the item earlier this evening. Therefore, I move to adopt the Interlaken Special Assessment District local law as included with the agenda. That's a motion.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. We did item number 12 earlier, so I'm going to jump to item number 13, which is discussion and vote seeker evaluation for Maple Dell PUD. I'm going to have City Attorney Vince DeLeonardis will read the proposed answers to the questions. Vince?
Thank you, Commissioner. This is going to be similar to the seeker that we did for the UDO just a short moment ago. We have the Part 1 of the environmental assessment form that has been uploaded with the agenda and available for public view. There was one small bit of additional information relating to the depth of the groundwater that we needed to enable us to complete the proposed answers for the Part 2. So if everyone's comfortable with the information that's in the Part 1, I'm going to go and then read the proposed answers for the Part 2. You know the drill. If you have any questions, please interrupt me at any time and we can discuss those. So with regard to the Part 2, question number 1, impact on land. The proposed action may involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of the proposed site, and the proposed answer here is yes. And unlike the UDO that we just went through a moment ago, which was purely legislative, this is a legislative act but does include a proposed action that is the development that is ultimately still going to be subject to site plan, but the components to the extent that they're known are included in here. So the proposed answer to that first question is yes, and then you have to go through the sub-questions, which I will go through now. A, the proposed action may involve construction on land where depth to water table is less than 3 feet. The proposed answer is no, where small impact may occur. B, the proposed action may involve construction on slopes of 15% or greater. The proposed answer is no, or small impact may occur. C, The proposed action may involve construction on land where bedrock is exposed or generally within 5 feet of existing ground surface. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. D, the proposed action may involve the excavation and removal of more than 1,000 tons of natural material. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. E, the proposed action may involve construction that continues for more than 1 year or in multiple phases. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. F, the proposed action may result in increased erosion, whether from physical disturbance or vegetation removal, including from treatment by herbicides. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. G, the proposed action is or may be located within a coastal erosion hazard area. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. Question number 2, impact on geological features. The proposed action may result in the modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the site. Example, cliffs, dunes, minerals, fossils, or caves. Proposed answer is no. Number 3, impacts on surface water. The proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies. Example, streams, rivers, ponds, or lakes. The proposed answer is no. Number 4, impact on groundwater. The proposed action may result in new or additional use of groundwater or may have the potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater or an aquifer. Proposed answer is no. Impact on flooding. Number 5, the proposed action may result in development on lands subject to flooding. Proposed answer is no. Number 6, impacts on air. The proposed action may include a state-regulated air emission source. Proposed answer is no. Number 7, impacts on plants and animals. The proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna. The proposed answer is no. Number 8, impact on agricultural resources. The proposed action may impact agricultural resources. The proposed answer is no. 9, impact on aesthetic resources. The land use of the proposed action are obviously different from or are in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. Proposed answer is no. Number 10, impact on historic and archaeological resources. The proposed action may occur in or adjacent to a historic or archaeological resource. Proposed answer is no. Number 11, impact on open space and recreation. The proposed action may result in a loss of recreational opportunities or a reduction of an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. Proposed answer is no. Number 12, impact on critical environmental areas. The proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area or CEA. And the proposed answer to this one is yes. Subpart A, the proposed action may result in a reduction in the quantity of the resource or characteristic which was the basis for designation of the CEA. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. B, the proposed action may result in a reduction in the quality of the resource or characteristic which was the basis for the designation of the CEA. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. 13, impact on transportation. The proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. Proposed answer is no. Number 14, impact on energy. The proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. And the proposed answer to that is yes. Subpart A, the proposed action will require a new or an upgrade to an existing substation. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. Subpart B, the proposed action will require the creation or extension of an energy transmission or supply system to serve more than 50 single or two-family residences or serve a commercial or industrial use. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. C, the The proposed action may utilize more than 2,500 megawatt hours per year of electricity. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. D, the proposed action may involve heating and or cooling of more than 100,000 square feet of building area when completed. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. Question 15, impact on noise, odor, and light. The proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting. The proposed answer to this question is yes. Subpart A, the proposed action may produce sound above noise levels established by local regulation. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. B, the proposed action may result in blasting within 1,500 feet of any residence, hospital, school, licensed daycare center, or nursing home. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. C, the proposed action may result in routine odors for more than 1 hour per day. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. D, the proposed action may result in light shining onto adjacent properties. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. E, the proposed action may result in lighting creating sky glow brighter than existing area conditions. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. Question number 16, impact on human health. The proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. The proposed answer is no. (17) Consistency with community plan. The proposed action is not consistent with adopted land use plans. The proposed answer is yes. Subpart A, the proposed action's land use components may be different from or in sharp contrast to current surrounding land use patterns. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. B, the proposed action will cause the permanent population of the city, town, or village in which the project is located to grow by more than 5%. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. C, the proposed action is inconsistent with local land use plans or zoning regulations. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. D, the proposed action is inconsistent with any county plans or other regional land use plans. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. E, the proposed action may cause a change in the density of development that is not supported by existing infrastructure or is distant from existing infrastructure. The proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. F, the proposed action is located in an area characterized by low density development that will require new or expanded public infrastructure. Proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. G, proposed action may induce secondary development impacts, example, residential or commercial development not included in the proposed action, and the proposed answer is no or small impact may occur. And question number 18, the proposed project is inconsistent with the existing community character, and the proposed answer to that is no. So as we discussed earlier, there was a protest petition filed that would apply to any vote on the PUD itself, but the vote for the seeker is simply a majority or 3 votes. So if everyone's comfortable with the proposed answers in the part 2, Commissioner Frank?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any questions for Vince before I do a motion.
No, but Vince, could you remove the cockroaches on your when you sit back down and throw them away? I don't want to go through my agenda with them in front of me. I appreciate it. There's a garbage right there. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to do a motion. I move upon the review of the information recorded on this EAF, as noted, plus the additional support information, traffic generation assessment conducted by Creighton Manning, updated on October 20th, 2021, letter from OPRHP dated May 6, 2021, stating no properties, including archaeological and historical resources listed in or eligible for the New York State or National Registers of Historic Places will be impacted by this project. And considering both the magnitude and importance of each identified potential impact, it is the conclusion of the Saratoga Springs City Council as the lead agency that this project will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared. Accordingly, this negative declaration is issued, and that's in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna vote against this one too. It's not consistent with the comprehensive plan. That's part of what I had a concern with. The other concern I had was, obviously, I spoke with the neighbors over there, and they're not happy with what's about to take place. Apparently, they're willing to live with what's there. So,
Anyone else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
no.
No.
Matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 9. Two no's, the last one, yeah. No, only need 3. It was a seeker.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
3-2
Okay.
passes.
I was paying attention, Vince. Towards the end here. Number 14, item 14 is discussion and vote zoning amendment for the Marion Avenue Maple Dell planned unit development. Again, I'll just bring you up one more time, Vince, so let's see. We'll get our money's worth to the last minute. Again, just to explain relating to this vote, again, because this will need a supermajority, correct?
Yes, so the seeker vote that you just had was a 3-2 vote. Because the protest petition is not applicable to the seeker, that motion did pass. So you've made a determination of negative declaration. So now you're having a discussion and vote on the PUD legislation itself. This will require a 4/5 or supermajority vote. And for the benefit of the Secretary to the City Council, a roll call might be easier just so she can determine who voted which way.
Thank you.
So, Mayor, I'm going to do a motion, then let people discuss it so we know where we stand on this. So, therefore, I move for the City Council to approve the zoning amendment for the Marion Avenue Maple Dell PUD planned unit development as submitted and described. That's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I know, I think we've made a lot of changes to the original plan, and I understand the neighbors' concerns, and I was very happy to meet with the neighbors. I think it's a much better plan than what you have right now. It looks like the votes aren't there, so I just want to explain why I think this is a better plan. I think moving the car wash farther back away from the resident in which this car wash just blows into this resident's home on Marion Avenue would be very good for that area. I know this is about more than just the Maple Dell neighborhood, but getting the Stewarts and the liquor store sort of out of that corner neighborhood, I think would be very good. I do think 5,000 square feet liquor store would be too large. But moving it over, where we could have better traffic flow, especially now I live in that area, and sometimes I go to turn, onto Route 9 from 50, and half my car is sticking out the back end onto Route 50 because people are trying to turn into the Stewarts or turn into the Mobile for the gas. It gets really backed up there. My sense is there's a better way to develop and lay that area out. One of the things that we were pretty successful at is making sure there was more green space, that the tree line didn't come down all the way close to the one neighbor that I met with on Marion Avenue. There was going to be a larger tree buffer there too, potentially with some residential. So there was a lot about it I liked. I thought it would actually really benefit the neighbors and the neighborhood, but maybe still needed a little bit more work. So I wanted to be supportive of this, but you do require a supermajority vote. I think this is headed in the right direction. I would have asked for a smaller liquor store, but overall I thought it could have benefited the neighborhood, especially inside in the Maple Dell area, which is absolutely just lovely. So there's my comments.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Commissioner Madigan. I think it needs more work. I think, at some point, maybe they come back with a plan that would work for the neighbors over there. It could possibly happen.
I just don't know if, I can't imagine having more meetings about this intersection. I just can't. I just think that either it stays as it is or it doesn't. I mean, I just think that to keep meeting when we have one side saying we don't want any change and the other side wants to, do their thing.
So, in 10 days, there's another council coming in.
I have a
different
comment.
people sitting at these seats, so they may have a different outlook on it.
That's true. I agree with you, Commissioner.
I have a quick comment,
with you.
which is that we've heard from this neighborhood, and they don't want this. They stood here and were brought to tears talking about how it's affected their neighborhood, their health, their livelihood. They do not want this in their neighborhood. And I don't know why that fact keeps going ignored. I don't know why we keep trying to adjust this. They don't want it. The planning board laid out exactly why it doesn't meet the criteria for a PUD. I feel like they're being tortured by this. I'm a hard no. I've been a hard no for a while, and I don't know why we would kick it to another council to try to make a square peg fit into a round hole. This neighborhood doesn't want it.
Well, I do think that something needs to be done over there. As Commissioner of Public Safety, maybe the new one coming in will fix the traffic flow over there because somebody's going to get killed on that corner trying to make that turn into Stewart's. It's very, very dangerous. It gets backed up. And it's a matter of time when somebody's going to come on the right-hand side, somebody's turning in, and they're going to get T-boned. So definitely that needs to be looked at. But,
maybe not through Stewart's in a PUD, though. That would be a public safety issue brought up, not something that's Stewart's.
Well, maybe address it, Okay, any other comments? All right, all those in favor, or roll call, please. Let's do roll call.
Nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
All right. The matter does not pass.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 15. Item number 15 is discussion and vote authorization for mayor to sign contract with Saratoga Springs City Center for inauguration. The inauguration of the new administration will be held on January 1st, 2022 at the Saratoga Springs City Center. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign the contract with Saratoga Springs City Center for inauguration day, January 1st, 2022, as included with this agenda. And that's a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Frank, I've been hearing a lot of rumors about this. Is this open to the public? Do you know?
That's my understanding. I think it might be subject. I'm not going to go there, but
I'm not either. But I'm having people saying that it's not open to the public, and I don't know what's going on. I don't have any answers.
Yeah, especially with incoming Commissioner Montanino saying he's going to make this large presentation about the Darrell Mount findings. I mean, it would be strange to not have a public, I guess.
It's my understanding, Mayor, that it will be open to public, subject to change due to COVID restrictions because of the Omicron. But I really don't. That's all I've heard. I really haven't got too much discussion with that.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think the way it's going to work is each commissioner and the mayor can bring 20 people, and they have to RSVP. That's my understanding. Now, I don't know,
Well, that's what I heard that too. I heard each commissioner.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And they have a room that holds 250 people, so that they should be able to have some of the public in there. But so I would like some answers if anybody's listening out there in the TV world.
Watch through the glass.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. Quite an agenda. I've never seen one like that before.
I know. I saved it up for 16
hard
years
at
just
the
for
end.
tonight, unfortunately, but we got it done.
On to Finance, Commissioner Madigan.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item on my agenda is an announcement about the year-end City Council meeting, which will be on December 29th at 2021 at 11 a.m. This is a perfunctory meeting that we have every year. It's for final transfers and amendments. Per the city charter, we cannot allow any budget lines to go into the red, so we have this one quick meeting where we do final transfers and any amendments that are required so the budget does not go into the red before the budget closes out at the end of the year. Item number 2 is my appointment to the Climate Smart Committee, and I am appointing Deirdre O'Dwyer Ladd. Many of you know Deirdre as the current Deputy Commissioner of Finance. Deirdre also served on the Civil Service Commission and has numerous volunteer activities to her name, serving on boards and with other groups here in the city. So very pleased to be appointing Deirdre. Item number 3 is a discussion and vote the 2022 tax rate approvals. Each year, after the next year's budget is passed, the council is asked to approve the tax rates that the budget is generated. Even though we approve them in the budget, for some reason, we always need to bring this back. The 2022 budget includes property tax revenue that requires no tax rate increase. It was stated upon adoption of the 2022 budget, and these rates have been uploaded with the agenda. For the record, I'll state them here tonight, and these numbers are per $1,000 of assessed value of a city property. The inside general district tax rate for 2022 is $6.4306, and the outside district is $6.3727. The downtown special assessment district is 0.7811. I move that the City Council approve the 2022 tax rates as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. The 4th item is a discussion and vote city fees 2022. The city is required to review and publish its city fees annually. Each year, the city departments review its fees to ensure they're aligned with their budget revenues, estimates, and that we're being fully transparent about these fees. City fees can be revised anytime during the year. Tonight's vote sets the fees for January 1, 2022. All revisions to date are uploaded with the agenda with changes highlighted. A brief overview includes the following. There are no changes for civil service in the Mayor's Department, Finance, or Public Safety. Accounts Department has discounted fees for active duty military, marriage licenses, and revised bingo license fees. Public Works revised its street opening permits for April through November and for National Grid for gas main construction. The Recreation Department did submit several changes to fees, so I encourage people to review them. They have been uploaded with the agenda. I move that the City Council approve the 2022 city fees as included with this agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. Item number 5 is a discussion and vote, approve title and salary for the microcomputer systems manager. Tonight I am asking the council to approve a microcomputer systems manager. The title will work specifically with the Public Safety Department, an essential group that is particularly vulnerable. The first has been filled by a former computer technician without backfill on this title. It is hoped that tonight's request will also be filled by a former computer technician without backfill on this title. In any case, tonight I'm only asking the council accept the title and the salary grade and step. The title was established and accepted by Civil Service several years ago, a microcomputer systems manager. The union has recently accepted this title as a grade 14, which is a range of $63,150 to $77,453. The vote I'm asking for tonight is to set the title and salary grade and step. So the starting salary for this microcomputer manager would have a starting salary of $75,702, which is a grade 14, step 9. This is in parity with the IT team but I guess albeit less than private sector going rates. There is a transfer on this evening's agenda to fund this position through year end should a person be chosen for this position. I move that the City Council approve the title Microcomputer Specialist Manager to be included in the CSEA City Hall Union as a grade 14, step 9, as described at the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. Item number 6 is a discussion and vote. Approval to pay invoices to Kevin Kling in the amount of $56.90 for IT-related expenses. From time to time, IT needs to use a credit card for technology, server stuff that they need to access online, and it's the only way that they can pay. We have been working on making sure that we have a credit card that's available in the city's name for such purchases, but we've not completed that process yet. I move that the City Council approve the payment of invoices to Kevin Kling in the amount of $56.90 for IT-related expenses as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Item number 7 is a discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign agreement for payment in lieu of taxes, a pilot, between and among the City of Saratoga Springs, 43 Allen Housing Development Fund Company, Inc., and 43 Allen Drive, LLC, and Peerless Property Holdings, LLC. I'm going to ask the City Attorney, Vince DeLeonardis, to come to the mic and explain the pilot. Thank you, Vince.
Sure. Thank you, Commissioner. 43 Allen Drive was originally part of a pilot agreement that was previously approved by the City Council as part of the Allendale pilot. It was a much larger project. Due to some restructuring among the owners of those properties, 43 was removed from that and is now before you as a separate pilot agreement. This, by comparison to other pilot agreements, is relatively small. There are only 6 units within this agreement, and it is like other pilot agreements for a period of 30 years. It is for individuals with an AMI at 60% or less, and the the annual payments range from $550 at the beginning of the pilot, advancing up toward $8,250 as you approach year 30. Habitat for Humanity is working with the owners of this particular project to find housing for eligible individuals, and if approved tonight, this will move forward as one more step in the overall project. They did create the HDFC, or the Housing Development Fund Company, so they're ready to move forward and continue with this project.
Thank you. Okay, any questions? I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign agreement for payment in lieu of taxes, a pilot between and among the City of Saratoga Springs, 43 Allen Housing Development Fund Company, Incorporated, and 43 Allen Drive, LLC, and Peerless Property Holdings, LLC, is included with the agenda. This is a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. Item number 8 is a discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign ClearGov agreement for cloud-based budget transparency program. This agreement will enable the city to update and increase its budget data transparency on the city website, something that a while ago we used to have a different product out there that helped us with our budgetary information. And when the Empire Report with the Times Union came out with their list of top websites, we were listed as the top we went from the worst website to the best website, and a lot of that had to do with our fiscal transparency. Several years ago, the city began to use a web-based interactive program by a different provider. The ClearGov product currently is also far more extensive, less expensive than the current provider's update, substantially more friendly for both city staff and the public, and utterly unique among web-based budget products. ClearGov works with over 500 local governments across the country, and its New York State clients include the City of Fulton, City of North Tonawanda, City of Poughkeepsie, City of Plattsburgh, Village of Pelham, Village of Rybrook, Village of Briarcliff Manor, Village of Garden City, Village of Fairport, Village of Lake Placid, Town of Poughkeepsie, Town of Queensbury, Town of East Greenbush, Albany County, Mechanicville City School District, and I could go on and on and on. ClearGov has agreed to the city contract template, slightly revised as approved by the city attorney. ClearGov has made substantial effort to work with the city in connection with all city purchasing requests, including insurance, which is a very important aspect of these contracts. ClearGov has provided all requested insurance. The only exceptions are that its cyber liability insurance is in the amount of $2 million rather than $5 million, and its excess insurance is in the amount of $1 million rather than $5 million. Increased insurance limits will render ClearGov unable to do business with the city, as it cannot sustain its cost of doing business with these requirements. Like many companies, it has stated that Saratoga Springs insurance is among the most stringent and challenging it has encountered, and it has worked with several municipalities in New York State. ClearGov has also explained how it fits into our insurance scope and requirements, stating the city is not buying ClearGov, nor are we creating custom software for the city. We are not connecting directly into any of your internal systems. They are cloud-based SaaS solutions, software as a service. The city is paying for annual access to our software service solution, which is budget building and budget communication tools. The city's long-standing IT director, Kevin Kling, agrees with this statement and has tried to also work with risk and safety on this matter. As the attorney stated yesterday at pre-agenda meeting, from time to time, the city has found itself in the position of waiving its insurance requirements for a variety of reasons. Indeed, there are at least 2 other contracts on this evening's agenda for which insurance requirements have been waived. I'm just going to make the motion at this point. I move that the City Council authorize the mayor to sign the ClearGov agreement documents for cloud-based budget transparency program as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you, and I would like to thank Marilyn Rivers. I think she does have a good eye on the city's insurance. Cyber insurance is all over the place right now, and it's clear that even insurance companies are scrambling, trying to figure out how to actually start really dealing with everything that's happening in the cyber world. Okay, did I skip one? Okay, items. Yeah, I seem to be missing an item. Let me just look. Item number 8 is a discussion and vote. Got renamed. Yeah, all right. Item number 8 is a discussion and vote budget amendments benefits, lines 1 through 2. These amendments increase the budget in the amount of $75 due to a medical loss ratio rebate to city employees. I move that the City Council approve the budget amendments benefits as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Item number 9 is a discussion and vote budget transfers benefits, lines 1 through 2. These transfers cover amounts for tax lien advertising, tapping unused unemployment benefits in the amount of $2,790.82. I move that the City Council approve the budget transfers benefits as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Item number 11 is a discussion and vote budget transfers payroll, lines 1 through 59. These transfer cover amounts to cover costs for various department payroll expenses through year end, totaling $135,434. I'll bring your attention to lines 57 through 59. They cover the cost of the microcomputer security manager should this position be filled before year end in the amount of $2,700. I move that the City Council approve the budget transfers payroll as included with the agenda. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. I have one item I'd like to add to my agenda this evening. I make a motion to add a discussion and vote amendment resolution for apprenticeship program. It was not included on the published agenda because it was not completed in time for publishing, and it is time sensitive. I move that the City Council approve the addition of the above-named item to my agenda this evening. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. So my new item number 11, I guess, will be a discussion and vote amendment to the apprenticeship resolution. The apprenticeship resolution was first passed in 2015 and revised in 2019. It has come to our attention that the federal and state grant requirement, they require very specific wording for these programs, and our 2019 resolution does not comply. The current 2019 resolution has 7 statements that the Council has resolved to abide by. I'm asking that the 5th statement be changed from resolved that this resolution shall apply to the construction contracts on or after the effective date of October 15th, 2019, but shall not apply to construction contracts which have been entered into through cooperative procurement efforts or piggyback, and be it it further, and I want to change it to resolve that this resolution shall apply to construction contracts on or after the effective date of October 15th, 2019, but shall not apply to construction contracts which have been entered into through cooperative procurement efforts, piggyback, or on projects for which the City of Saratoga Springs receives federal aid and or state financed funding if funding will be withheld due to the presence and or current federal non-approval status of the apprenticeship requirement. And be it further, and I'm adding a sixth statement to this, resolved that the City of Saratoga Springs will begin working with the New York State Department of Transportation and the New York State Department of Labor and the Federal Highway Administration to forward the future creation of an approved OJT program and or contract bid document, be it further. Basically, I'm asking the council to, I believe we can have an apprenticeship program, but we have to work with the Federal Highway Authority and New York State DOT to make it happen. The first four of the last two statements will remain unchanged. I don't know if this is confusing. And Vince, is this saying what I wanted to say, that we are going to work with them to have an approved apprenticeship program? Because it seemed to me that's what DOT was saying, that we can do that, but it's going to take 6 months to a year.
Yes. So what we're doing is making it clear with the amendment to the resolution that it will not apply to current projects for which we are receiving state or federal funding, and that funding would interfere with the ability, because we don't have an approved apprenticeship program. Notwithstanding that, we will be working with both the state and the federal highway administration to move forward with an approved apprenticeship program for future projects. The issue was brought forward by Tina Carton with regard to the downtown connector. We are receiving federal dollars as part of that project. We do not have a federally approved apprenticeship program. So that this amendment to the resolution will allow us to move forward with that project, not include the apprenticeship program just for that project, but we will work with them to develop one for future projects. It really should be emphasized that this council has time and time again shown support for the apprenticeship program and the unions that provide these programs. We have just recently on Commissioner Sirocco's agenda had that item where we approved the agreement with Skidmore to allow for the addition of a facility to our ice rink. They're under no obligation to comply with our apprenticeship program because it's their own project, not a city-funded project, but Commissioner Sirocco included that language in that agreement. So I don't think there's any dispute about the council's support for something like this. It just can't happen on this project for the downtown connector, and it can't happen on projects until we get approval from DOT, and this resolution just makes that clear.
All right. Thank you very much, Vince. I am a big supporter of the building trades, and I just want to make sure that we're putting it out there because this sounds like something we can work toward.
We also included it in the firehouse project as well.
Which is great,
sure.
so thank you.
All city projects.
Yeah.
We value it.
Thank you. But I also don't want to put any funding at risk right now for projects we're working on. So I move that the City Council approve the amendment to the apprenticeship resolution as described this evening. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. And so I'm going to move on to my closing comments. And although the meeting did not start off very well, I'm usually a pretty upbeat person. And this is my last city council meeting. And so I have a few notes, and I'm going to get myself back into an upbeat mode because it's been 10 years here. And I've got a few things to say and a few people to thank. And here I go. All right. So, honestly, I have been thinking about this moment for a really long time. My final agenda item on my final official city council meeting. It is bittersweet. It has been 10 long years, but I am ready to leave this position that I have fondly held since 2012. I am happy to be going out on my own terms with a lot of accomplishments achieved on behalf of the people of this great city. I've had wonderful successes here at the city council table, and I've had my moments in which I have not been so pleased with my behavior, but always vowed to myself to learn to do better next time. These elected commissioner and mayoral jobs in this city of Saratoga Springs, they are not easy jobs for any of us. They are all time consuming, and they weigh on our families, and they weigh on our personal relationships. But they are rewarding, especially when you get to work with the great people I've had the pleasure to work with in the city's finance and IT departments, and really all of the other departments in City Hall. There are just some great people here who work hard every day. It has also been rewarding to work on projects such as the 2.5 megawatt solar spa solar park, the 10 budgets that I have presented to the City Council and the public with little movement up or down on our property tax rates. Working through the time of COVID was tough, but we did that together, this council, and working together to restore City Hall following the lightning strike that set fire to the building. You know, a lot was on top of this council over these last few years. I presented 10 budgets to the City Council and the public, all with the exception of what I like to call the 2021 COVID budget, included essentially a $0 increase in property taxes. We kept property taxes at or near $0 increase, and some had a slight decrease. These budgets were prepared yearly with a great team that has included 3 wonderful deputies who have served with me, Lynn Bachner, Mike Sharp, and now Deirdre Ladd. I've been blessed to have such good people on my team and such good people in this department. During my tenure, the city has saved over $5.3 million by refinancing outstanding debt 5 times, and our city's bond rating was raised from AA to AA+, with a stable outlook, up from a negative outlook during COVID. So we're leaving the city in good financial shape, too, as I exit office. I'd like to thank Christine Gilmet-Brown for her work on all the city bonds, city bonding, the refinancing, and ensuring our bond rating stays in good standing, and always monitoring our revenues and expenses and cash flow. So the good news here, as I make my closing comments too, is just this month, on December 9th, the city paid out approximately $13.8 million. This includes paying off our second and last tax anticipation note of $5 million, ensuring that we also paid our $5 million plus annual contribution to the New York State retirement system, so we were able to pay it and take the discount. The final quarter of 2021 taxes to Saratoga County, and we've made the Saratoga Springs City School District whole on their taxes as well. We also made principal and interest payments on 10 bonds. Of course, we also paid our normal accounts payable and payroll obligations. The good news is we still have cash in the bank, and all the short-term debt has been paid in full, and we have sufficient cash to carry us into 2022. This is good news for the incoming administration. Our 2.5 megawatt spa solar park has generated over 12 million kilowatt hours since it went live in the spring of 2017. The city's electric bills have been significantly reduced by this generation, saving taxpayers money. 2022 will be the park's 5-year anniversary, obtaining the grant via NYSERDA and the Governor's New York Sun program with our partners Onyx Renewables and Sustainable Saratoga. And again, I have to give a shout out to Lynn Bachner. She worked very hard on this project along with myself and worked through the details of a very complicated power purchase agreement. Building this spa solar array was really a big deal in that the land, the site of the city's dump, could not be developed. But now other communities want to emulate our park, which is built on our city dump, to save energy and money and do their part to be promoting actively renewables. As I move on to talk about smart cities briefly, together with the city's first Smart City Commission, I have worked to literally pave the way for the next iteration of smart city infrastructure and IT systems with public space recycling support for the Department of Public Works, laying the foundation for a citywide fiber network, supporting our NYPA streetlight purchase and LED conversion, and the potential for smart city applications in the future vis-a-vis these streetlights. We focused on green energy. We implemented online and utility payments online. Digitization of city records. We implemented online time and attendance and supported multimodal transportation via my support always for the city's Complete Street Advisory Board. We've obtained grants to implement 2 pilot smart city applications with the Saratoga Springs Public Library and the Saratoga Springs Housing Authority. A few highlights of my tenure on the City Council also include, in partnership with the Spa State Park and Recreation, we oversaw the construction of a safe, fenced-in dog park area at the intersection of Crescent and South Broadway. We completed a complete overhaul of the city website. The Empire Center and Times-Union announced that it was one of the top city websites in the Capital District region because of the transparency of our budget materials. And a second refresh of the city's website was presented tonight as a presentation and will be unveiled tomorrow. The rest of what happens with the website will be left to the new administration. We have contributed to local economic development initiatives with Universal Preservation Hall, the Saratoga Performing Arts Centers, and the Saratoga Springs Housing Authority to support their affordable housing development efforts. When I started my tenure as Commissioner of Finance, the Finance Office generated 80 cubic feet of paper records per year. 48 cubic feet of that was generated by payroll. With the implementation of automated time and attendance program, payroll produces no paper records anymore. It's all digital. The only significant production of paper annually for the finance department are our tax stubs, which have a very short retention period. Once the annual audit is completed, those records can be disposed. With the help of Nancy Wagner from the City Accounts Department, several backfile digital conversions were conducted, enabling digital access by staff to tax rolls from 1919 and payroll and retirement records from 1975 onward. With the help of Kevin Kling, the city's IT director, we now have fiber to most all of our city-owned facilities, the rec center, the ice skating rink, the firehouse. We have state-of-the-art servers and backup server technology. I know when I first started, Kevin Kling would go home with the backup server in the trunk of his car. So we have really invested in IT during this tenure. We spent the time and the resources ensuring our systems are safe and secure. Again, we invested in IT during my tenure. I've not forgotten those who helped pave the way for me and other commissioners either. We plan to honor Remigio Foy, former Commissioner of Finance, and Matt McCabe, another former Commissioner of Finance. They both passed recently. Commissioner McCabe, sadly, passed from COVID-19. With that, I want to thank those who I served with on this City Council. Mayor Scott Johnson, and I can still remember saying goodbye to him, telling him he was my first mayor. Commissioner of Public Safety, Chris Mattison, who I spent 6 years with on this council, and there is no finer man to serve alongside with as a commissioner than Commissioner Mattison. Commissioner Martin, Mayor Yepsen, and Commissioner Dalton, who I each spent one term with on the council. And Mayor Kelly, I'm proud to have spent 2 terms with you on the council. Thank you for all that I have learned from each of you. Commissioner Dalton, I am sure you have a career in stand-up comedy coming your way. You have a great sense of humor. Vince and Tony. Vince, you are singularly the best city attorney I've served with, and I've had the pleasure of serving with 4 city attorneys. There was one other who came very close, but you know, your longevity here. There is no one better to serve as city attorney, especially with the need to also reside in the city, than you. It was during your term as city attorney that we made the job full-time because we could see, the stress that it was putting on your time along with your commute down to Albany to your practice. Your knowledge of city issues from land use to fiber access to solar power purchase agreements to just about anything we have coming at us is remarkable. We could not do this job without you. The trust and confidence you have brought to the office is unparalleled to some of the attorneys that I have served with in the past. And I thank you, and I will miss you, and here's to you. I know we all did a lot of clapping already. Tony, I might start blubbering, and I told Commissioner Frank that I would not cry this evening.
You're gonna cry.
You have the most wonderful knowledge, and I don't want to see that knowledge walk out this door, so I'm sure we're going to find some way to preserve it. No restructuring of our legal department will bring your vast knowledge to bear on any city business. Period. Full stop. Bar none. You are Mr. Knowledge Man. I consider you a friend and a mentor. I'm sure you're going to give me some mentoring after this meeting. I've always appreciated you. You're sort of my go-to, especially when it comes to resolutions and things that I just need to work out in my head. And I look forward to staying in touch with you and to our continued friendship. Now I have to turn to Commissioner Frank and Scirocco. I have spent the last 10 years with you both. You are both not only my first commissioners of accounts and DPW, but you are my only and last commissioners of accounts and DPW that I will be serving with. You two have been together for 14 years, and I have been with you both for 10 years. Commissioner Scirocco, I wish you well with your upcoming term. I truly do. I know how hard these jobs are. I know how hard, in particular, your job is. I'm happy you will be on the council and will come with the institutional knowledge, with some of the institutional knowledge at the very least, because a lot is really walking out the door. COVID was tough for us, but we got through it. You have a wonderful family. I've enjoyed working with you and getting to know you and your family, and I look forward to more times in the future breaking bread with you. Commissioner Frank, I didn't write any notes for you.
I get that off.
It's almost impossible for me to say goodbye to you. I truly do believe that, you are our longest serving, tenured commissioner. And I meant what I said in the Times Union when you made your announcement not to run again. Your knowledge is invaluable. Again, it's much like Tony's. It's different, but it's much like it. When we sit in meetings or executive sessions, you just remember the fine details. It's also been a pleasure to work with you. I'm concerned about your institutional knowledge, but maybe through connections with the new administration, there's a way to continue to turn some of that over. I know you know how hard these jobs are. I know you know the toll it takes on us and our families. And I wish you well, and I wish your family well. And I'm truly going to miss sitting next to you going forward in the future. So about the future. There are exciting opportunities are on the horizon. There are new revenue streams to look at, including short-term rentals potentially, some sports tourism, art, history, complete street projects. We've got UPH, Art Center, Solomon Northrop, etc. The future is green, it's efficient, it's prosperous. Overall, it's bright with possibility. I basically came, I saw, I conquered, and I'm leaving. Thank you, Mayor. That completes my agenda, and here's my funny little gimmick, if it works.
Jesus Christ. Okay, she goes out with a bang.
You just took 10 years off my life over there.
Little confetti.
Okay, on to Public Works, Commissioner Scirocco.
Okay, so you're going out with a bang, huh?
I went out with a bang.
Nice job.
You got to pre-warn public safety before those bangs.
I've got more bangs, by the way, which I figured at the end of the meeting, maybe
Got a good
we'll
bag
all
there.
just blow one.
Okay. I've done 1 and 2 on my agenda, so I'll move to my third item, and it's discussion and vote. This is authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with CT Mail for post-closure gas monitoring. In response to our recent RFP, 2021-29, CT Mail Associates Engineering, Surveying, Architect.
I'm passing him over to you. Okay. Ridiculous.
This is it, huh? Okay. Got one? Robin?
Sorry. No, I'm terribly afraid of bangs.
Interrupting.
Sorry,
Okay,
no
okay.
popping in
All
front
right.
of Robin.
Lost my place here. Anyways.
Number 3.
I submitted a proposal dated 11/30/2021 for 2021 post-closure landfill monitoring services at the City of Saratoga Springs, Weibel Avenue landfill. They have been providing these services over the last several years and have been responsive and timely in their communication with the New York State DEC requirements. They have extensive working knowledge for the landfill and gas collection system. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a contract with CT Mail Associates Engineering, Surveying, Architecture, and Landscape Architecture, DPC, for post-closure gas monitoring valid until December 31st, 2022, in the amount not to exceed unit bid prices. I'm going to put that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
The fourth item is discussion and vote, authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with Warren for landfill operations, monitoring, and maintenance services. In response to our recent RFP for 2021-28, Warren LFG Services of Oakland, New Jersey, was the lowest qualified proposal for the landfill operations, monitoring, and maintenance services at the City of Saratoga Springs, Weibel Avenue landfill. Whereas proposal includes unit bid prices of $1,300 monthly, $540 quarterly, and $130 hourly. Work will be invoiced based on these unit bid prices subject to appropriation. These fees include the monthly and quarterly maintenance for January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Warren was the consultant on the 2014 landfill gas update project and has a working knowledge of the upgraded gas system. The firm is 100% specialized in landfill gas migration and is an excellent fit for this service. We are requesting the City Council's authorization for the mayor to sign the agreement with Warren LFG Services, LLC at unit bid prices stated above. Now, therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a contract with Warren LFG Services, LLC for landfill operations, monitoring, and maintenance services valid until December 31st, 2022, and the amount not to exceed unit bid prices. Put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 5 is discussion and vote. Mayor to sign addendum number 1 with CT Mail for professional hydrogeological and construction phase services for the Geyser Crest well number 7 upgrades. Through this project, the city plans to increase the Geyser Crest well field supply from 0.5 million gallons per day to 1 million gallons per day to supply Geyser Crest and supplement to the city's water supply. CTML's work has been delayed for several reasons due to COVID impacts. For example, their well driller was not available until late October, 6 weeks later than originally planned. The driller's lab was extremely backlogged and did not provide the sample results until mid-November. The well screen manufacturer, Johnson's Wells of Wisconsin, was going through some company administrative changes, which caused further slowdowns. CTML is currently working on the bid documents with the goal to have the new well up and running by summertime, as requested by the city's chief operator. Addendum number 1 includes a contract time extension from December 31st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022, which will leave time for any final adjustments. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign addendum number 1 with CT Mail Associates Engineering, Surveying, Architecture, and Landscape Architecture, DPC, extending substantial completion date to December 31st, 2022 for professional hydrogeological and construction phase services at the Geyser Crest well number 7, and put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
And number 6, I'm taking off my agenda. I'll go to number 7. This is discussion and vote. Authorization for the mayor to sign addendum number 3 with Schnabel for professional engineering design and permitting services for the Lufberry Lake Dam Spillway project. On June 19, 2018, the city contracted with Schnabel Engineering to design the rehabilitation of the Lufberry Lake Dam. This project addresses several dam safety deficiencies, including inadequate spillway capacity, inoperable low-level outlet, unsatisfactory factors of safety for embankment upstream slope stability, and potential for liquefaction of the embankment and foundation soils. The proposed work will bring the dam into compliance with the New York State DEC regulations for required spillway capacity. Schnabel is in the process of applying for a joint permit with the New York State DEC and Army Corps of Engineers. In the meantime, the city informed Schnabel to wait to bid the work until the approximately $6 million in funding is fully allocated. In addition, Schnabel had to postpone the project schedule while the raw water intake improvements are completed, which include necessary infrastructure for the dam project. Therefore, addendum number 3 includes a contract time extension from December 31st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign addendum number 3 with Schnabel Engineering of New York, extending substantial completion date to December 31st, 2022 for professional engineering, design, and permitting services for the Lufberry Lake Dam Spillway project, and put that in form of a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 8, discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign addendum number 1 with Creighton Manning for professional services for the water distribution pipe replacements, phase 1. On December 15, 2020, City Council approved a contract with Creighton Manning Engineering, LLP, for professional services for the water distribution pipe replacement Phase 1. In mid-October 2020, DPW solicited design proposals for Phase 1 of a 4-year water infrastructure improvement plan. This project includes design services to replace 80,800 feet of 4 and 6-inch water mains with new 8-inch mains in the State Street and Clement Street neighborhoods. Construction has been delayed due to material and delivery delays. Therefore, addendum number 1 includes a contract time extension from December 31st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign addendum number 1 with Creighton Manning Engineering, LLP, extending substantial completion date to December 31st, 2022 for professional services for the water distribution pipe replacements, Phase 1, and I put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 9, discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign change order number 1 with Brunswick Electric to provide electrical construction services for the raw water intake improvements, Phase 1. This change order number 1 is for the raw water intake improvements, Phase 1, at the Excelsior Avenue Water Treatment Plant. The electrical construction contract is being completed by Brunswick Electric of Troy, New York, and is approximately 80% complete. Since the work is 20 feet deep and in the ground, it was not feasible for Clark Patterson Lee engineers to do preliminary test pits, and design was finalized. Before the design was finalized, the result is extra work and time needed to complete the project scope. Change order number 1 includes a contract time extension due to these unforeseen conditions from December 31st, 2021 to May 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign Brunswick Electric, Inc., extending substantial completion date to May 31st, 2022, to provide electrical construction services for raw water intake improvements, Phase 1, and I put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 10, discussion and vote, authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with Surpass Chemical Company for orthophosphate SLI 5179. As previously discussed with my first agenda item, due to the request for early termination, the contract for supplying the city with orthophosphate at the water treatment plant was put out to bid. Surpass came back with the lowest bid price, but not as low as their previous contract pricing. Surpass Chemical will supply the city with orthophosphate for the water treatment plant in the amount of unit bid price per proposal. The new contract is valid until December 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a contract with Surpass Chemical Company, Inc. for orthophosphate SL1 5179 for the water treatment plant, valid until December 31st, 2022, in the amount not to exceed unit bid prices, and I put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Okay, number 11. Discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with County Waste Recycling Services, Inc. for municipal solid waste removal. As previously discussed with my second agenda item, due to the request for early termination, the contract to supply the city with municipal solid waste removal was put out to bid, County Waste being the lowest bidder. This agreement between the City of Saratoga Springs and County Waste is for the removal and disposal of municipal solid waste at the city's transfer station on Weibel Avenue. This contract is valid until December 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a contract with County Waste and Recycling Service, Inc. for the municipal solid waste removal valid until December 31st, 2022, in the amount not to exceed unit bid prices. And I put that in the form of a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Getting there. Number 12. Discussion and vote. Authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with Paletti Stone Corporation for precast manholes, catch basins, dry wells, risers, frames, and covers. Paletti will provide the city with precast manholes, catch basins, dry wells, risers, frames, and covers not to exceed unit bid prices per the October 2021 bid proposal. Terms of this agreement are effective until December 31st, 2022. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a contract with Paletti Stone Corp. Precast manholes, catch basins, dry wells, risers, frames, and covers, valid until December 31st, 2022, in the amount not to exceed unit bid prices, and I put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 13, discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign addendum number 1 with Invoice Cloud, Inc. for electronic bill payment and presentment, an add-on for chargeback fee, ACH reject fee, PayPal brands chargeback fee. A contract with Invoice Cloud was previously approved by council on September 7, 2021. The contract is for the Utilities Department to help improve the customer experience associated with paying utility bills and to improve communication channels with water and sewer customers. One of the biggest benefits of Invoice Cloud is the opportunity for customers to engage in digital billing, which is receiving their bill through email or text communications. This will reduce the need for physical bills to be mailed to each customer should they choose to participate in digital billing. At the request of the Finance Department, this addendum is to authorize Invoice Cloud to collect delinquent school taxes in addition to the services outlined in the original agreement, and there is no additional cost. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign addendum number 1 with Invoice Cloud, Inc. for the electronic bill payment and presentment add-on for chargeback fee, ACH reject fee, PayPal brands chargeback fee, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, this has really been a great product, so thanks for bringing it to all our attention.
I think it's a good for the residents of the city.
Very.
Paying their bills. Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 14, discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign Tree City USA application. The city of Saratoga Springs has been nationally recognized as the Tree City USA community by the Arbor Day Foundation to honor its commitment to the community forestry since 2016. The Tree City USA program is sponsored by the Arbor Day Foundation in cooperation with the National Association of State Foresters and the USDA Forest Service. An application to renew Saratoga's Tree City USA recognition must be submitted annually to ensure that the community is following the 4 standards to become a Tree City USA community. And they are having a tree department, a tree ordinance, spending at least $2 per capita on urban forestry, and an Arbor Day observance and proclamation. The application requires a signed mayor's signature form. An application for the 2021 Tree City Growth Award will also be submitted for obtaining a New York State DEC urban forestry grant and completing a detailed spatial inventory of street and park trees to inform urban forestry planning, operations, and decision-making. Therefore, I move for the mayor to sign a Tree City USA application for 2021. Put that in form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Number 15, and this is an announcement. This is the celebration of City Hall's 150th anniversary and recognizing the emergency renovation and restoration project. On Tuesday, December 28th at 11 a.m., we will be hosting a ceremony to celebrate City Hall's 150th anniversary to recognize the renovation and restoration project. Due to COVID, we were unable to do anything official to recognize the work completed by the city for the emergency renovation and restoration project. While reviewing the history of the building, it was discovered that Town Hall officially opened to the public on December 28, 1871, with a great fanfare and a public celebration. Unfortunately, in the age of COVID, we cannot host a similar commemoration, but we can have a small ceremony to recognize this historic milestone. Again, I'm inviting the entire City Council, the public, and those involved with the project for a brief presentation in the Music Hall about the building's history and renovation. And more information will follow, but I hope everyone can join for this event on December 28th. So everybody's invited to be there.
Great.
And last but not least, this is an appointment to the Complete Streets Advisory Board. I was recently advised by Colin Klepetar that he is unable to attend board meetings due to recent increase on personal commitments. And so I will be appointing Susan Jagoda to the Complete Streets Advisory Board in his place. Suzanne is a nurse, massage therapist, and owner of the Gardens. Upon her arrival to Saratoga Springs many years back, she built the nurse radiology department at Saratoga Hospital from just one person, herself, to 7 nurse radiologists, and has served as a hospice nurse. And I am pleased to appoint Susan Jagoda, I think that's how you pronounce it, to the Complete Streets Advisory Board. And I want to thank Colin for his service to the board too. I'm sure he's not going to go away. You know, he's going to still be involved. So, and with that, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday. And you know, I didn't prepare any comments to for the council, but you know, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm really honored to have served with each and every one, and with some of the previous council too. But it's been, I mean, you've made my job a lot easier in a lot of cases. In some cases, not so easy, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory. But you learn from those experiences, and I think everybody's had those experiences. But for the most part, I think everybody certainly sitting at this table and previous councils have, you know, sat here and you know, probably thought the same thing. And you know, it's like Commissioner Madigan said, it is a rewarding position. And I mean, I'm looking forward to working with the next council. But I'm a little, you know, sad to see everybody go. It's been a real good, you know, at least 2 years with some of yous. Commissioner Madigan, you know, 10 years. Commissioner Frank, 14 years. The mayor, 4 years, I think. So, and, you know, I hope I've been, you know, as good to you guys as you've been to me.
Skip, we love you.
I know.
We love you.
I know. But, you know, and again, I've tried to work, you know, across the table with everybody. And up until recently, I've been the only Republican on the city council. You know, but that has never.
Now you had me for half the time.
That has never affected my judgment.
Just work.
But you know, again, I just want to say, you know, thank you for your service to the city, every one of you. And I mean, I really appreciate everything you've done for me, and I hope you know you all.
Definitely. Thank you, sir, and good luck in the following years. Okay, stay healthy.
Thank you.
On to Commissioner Dalton.
Thank you, Mayor. Hopefully you'll all give me a warning before you pop those poppers. I'm one of those weird people who has like a terrible fear of loud, sudden noises. So the first item on my agenda is a discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign an MOA with NYRA. This agreement for NYRA is for 1 SSPD officer and 1 canine bomb dog to be stationed at the Saratoga Racecourse during track season. NYRA will also provide a one-time donation to the city in the amount of $50,000 to be used to offset the cost of a new canine SUV and associated equipment for use in 2022. I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign an MOA with NYRA. This is a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. The second item on my agenda is discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with Planet Schedule. This is for scheduling software for the police department. It is a web platform to help fill overtime shift. I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Planet Schedule. This is a motion.
For a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The matter passes.
Thank you. The third item on my agenda is a discussion and vote authorization for the mayor to sign a contract with Axon. And I'm just going to quickly, because I know this has been a very long meeting, read through what this agreement entails and how it is going to benefit the city and the police department. With the passage of the Axon agreement, the City Council and the Police Department are showing their commitment to implementing the police reform resolution. The Axon agreement provides body cameras and tasers for all officers and will be assigned to those officers specifically via a barcode and ID system. Each marked patrol car will be equipped with in-car cameras that will sync with the body cameras. The taser technology allows for data to be captured every time an officer deploys or even tests the taser. The body cameras and in-car cameras will be linked with the CAD records management system so that every call an officer is sent on will automatically link to that system. The taser and camera technology allows for a wide range of data analytics that does not previously exist. The Professional Standards Program is an internal affairs program that allows for data, video transcription, and the ability to have pre-programmed words that could be considered hate speech or racist in nature. These words, if used in such a manner, would automatically be highlighted in the transcription of the videos. The program also allows for use of force reporting, reviews, and associated data analytics. The building of the Internal Affairs Program and Use of Force Program can be done in conjunction with the New York State Use of Force reporting standards. The virtual reality training also allows for scenario training that is as close to real time as the on-street encounters that officers face on a daily basis. Additionally, in this contract is the equipment replacement plan that is included. The equipment will always be up to date and functional under this plan. I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Axon. This is a motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
My last second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The matter passes.
So the last thing I had on here was closing comments. Before I get into those, I just wanted to update the public on one item which I know has been the subject of lots of public comments of late, which is the Caroline Street School and the pedestrian safety for kids walking to and from Caroline Street School. Pertaining to that, I just wanted to let everyone know that in the next few days, probably, you'll see poles going up east of the intersection of Caroline and Schuyler that will have no parking and basically restricted parking on both sides of the street on school days during school hours. So with the elimination of parking during school hours on both sides of the street, it'll make it significantly safer for parents to walk their kids to and from school. I would still encourage the PTA and the parents at Caroline Street, though, to become involved in the solution. I've never been part of a problem at a public school where parents didn't, pitch in to be part of the solution. And I know that the city council has really done everything they can in terms of grants, in terms of this change, and pursuing sidewalks in the future to make sure it's safe for those kids to walk to school. So I just wanted to update everyone on that. In terms of closing comments, I'm not really going to call them closing comments. I hope at some point to be able to give back to the community through being on the city council again someday. I've really loved doing this. It has been challenging in ways I never anticipated. I certainly never thought 2 months into office I'd have a global pandemic fall into my lap, and then the issues that came up after that. But I appreciate everyone on the council who's worked with me and who's worked with good intentions. It's meant the world to me. I think some of the challenges, though, of being in this office that the community still isn't aware of are, some of the things we saw tonight. Our families shouldn't be brought up when we're serving public office. Our children, our parents, our siblings, they should all be off limits. I don't know how we're going to continue to get people to run for these offices if we have to continue to take the abuse that we've taken over the last 2 years. It's really unconscionable, and it makes me sad because I would never tell anyone I cared about to run for public office in Saratoga Springs, ever. And I don't think that's the kind of community we are. So I hope that on a broader scale, people start understanding that and understand what we go through to give back to this community. Because again, it makes me really sad that we are treated the way we're treated, and we're really here with only good intentions. So anyway, on that note.
I agree with you, Commissioner Dalton. I know these are your closing comments, but they got way too personal. Nephews, sons, sisters. It's like, what's going on here?
It has, but and it hasn't just been tonight. I've experienced that over the last year and a half.
Up here.
I think we all
we're
have.
Here to do real city business.
Yeah, I agree.
And we do care about their issues. We have tried. We've tried to bring them in. We tried mediation. Every time we threw something up, something got thrown back at us, and so it's very frustrating to come in here, twice a month. And just get berated.
Yeah. So I give everyone credit because the only thing that I know I can do is wake up every morning and work my best and do my hardest to do right by the city. And thankfully, I have a deputy, Eileen, who's been incredible at helping me do just that, and a department and chiefs and leadership. And, from everyone from Vince and the city attorney's office to HR and all the people who have been mentioned tonight who have just been remarkable in terms of supporting all of us making the right decisions and the best decisions for the city. So it's been a privilege and an honor. I really appreciate it.
On to the supervisors. Supervisor Veach, you're going to cover both, I believe.
Supervisor, can I just say I apologize. I focus so much on the council. But working with you and working with Tara has been really a pleasure. And I know you're coming back, both of you, and I wish you much more continued success.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that. And onto the agenda. So first on the agenda is just a quick recap of the county budget. We did pass the county budget on December 8th. It was approved. We had 2 dissenting supervisors on the budget vote, but otherwise it was passed with everybody else voting in favor. I've talked a lot about the budget in previous meetings and about what it does. I do think it's a very good budget. It does have a lot of good infusions of revenue, such as the American Rescue Plan funding, and we've also done some financing at the county to help us with our capital program. Taxes go down slightly, and it does not break the tax cap.
Can I ask who the dissenting votes were?
Supervisor Peck from Northumberland and Supervisor Wright from Hadley. So
They have reasons? I mean, it's kind of unusual. Just unusual. I don't need to.
Yeah, it is somewhat unusual, but weighted vote-wise, it's very low, so it wasn't really a lot of dissension in terms of that. But we can talk about that later if you'd like, Mayor. Second on my agenda is just a quick update on the Racing and Gaming Committee. At the last meeting, I mentioned that we had a resolution coming forward opposing a bill in the Assembly that would defund purse assistance from VLTs. We did have that make it to the Law and Finance Committee, but the actual full resolution from the board did not pass the Law and Finance Committee. I voted against that. I thought it was odd that the county would not move something forward that was as important to our economy, such as that, as a standalone resolution, which carries a little bit more weight at the county than what they actually did, which was to move it to the legislative agenda on their legislative program. The legislative program only really goes to our local officials, and so they're already all against that, but a full resolution would have gone to the governor, the chairs of the racing committee and whatnot, and for some reason the finance committee did not want to move that forward. So maybe we can change it next year, and I will bring it to the new council as we go forward. I'm going to pull number 3 on my agenda. I don't need to do that tonight. And last on my agenda is just to, again, as we have talked about all night, just offer my appreciation and congratulations to all of the members of the council who are leaving. I've been here now for 14 years as well. Came in with Commissioner Scirocco in 2008. Commissioner Frank, we did the GAPS committee very famously some years ago, and I still get mileage out of that.
You both.
And it was a great project that we did. So, and as well as Commissioner Madigan, Commissioner Dalton, Mayor, it's been great working with all of you. And again, I thank you for your service to the city. Being a supervisor is a lot different than being a council member, so I can't imagine sometimes what you guys go through that we do not go through at the county level. So thank you all again, and I appreciate working with all of you over these years. So I will leave it with that. And Supervisor Gaston did send one item. Let me just give that to you. It's the COVID-19 update, and I will read it verbatim as she sent it to me. So from Supervisor Gaston, we are all aware there continues to be an increase in COVID-19 cases in the United States and Saratoga County specifically. This is likely fueled, at least in part, by the presence of the Omicron variant, which now compromises approximately 75% of new cases in the U.S., and which is much more transmissible. Even if data does bear out that Omicron is less severe, which has not been determined, it could still lead to many more cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. However, we have the tools now to fight COVID and protect our community. Please get vaccinated, which includes a booster as soon as you're eligible. For those who cannot get vaccinated and for those at higher risk, please also pay attention to your wellness and avoid public places and gatherings if you have any symptoms. Test when recommended, which can be done at the county's free testing site in Malta. And if you are diagnosed with COVID, help Saratoga County Public Health Services by letting those you have been around know so they can act accordingly. Help our local public health staff and our medical staff and follow the guidance so we can all get through this healthy and stronger together. And Supervisor Gaston did not have a second item, even though it was on our agenda, so I assume she's pulling that one. And that's it for our agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other business from the council?
I wish that the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors would further that message and not disagree with Saratoga County Public Health Services and what Supervisor Gaston just said with his statement about masking. But
okay.
Well, I was hoping you all wanted to go out with a bang.
Ooh,
I left one. It's as soon as you adjourn the meeting.
I count it down here.
Just take the little piece of paper off and pull it. I didn't. I gave one to Lisa. I'm sorry. Yeah. Just
I'm leaving.
time to go out with a bang.
You want to count it
All
down?
right,
Recess.
ready?
Yep.
You know,
I count it down.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
We are adjourned.
Out with a bang.
Happy holidays.
I burned down the building. Oh my God! The smoke alarms are going to go off. The fire alarms.
Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinnell's Restaurant, classic Italian American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinnell's Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinnell's has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcomed. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.